Indianapolis Colts. After a rocky start, Manning has settled into his leadership role and has the Colts back on track and looking to the future. After starting 3-0, the Seahawks are a frustrating 500. Future Hall of Famer Warren Moon has been replaced by local favorite Jon Kitna. Kitna is 2-1 as a starter this year and hopes to make the hometown fans proud. A lot of things have to happen for Seattle to make the playoffs, but a game they've been watching closely here, New England and the 49ers, a minute and a half remaining. They're tied at 21. The Patriots have to lose their last two for Seattle to have a chance at the postseason. And hello everyone, Bill McAtee along with John Dockery. And Doc, it's been an up and down season for the Seattle Seahawks, but really they've been a different club since Jon Kitna took over at quarterback.
Jon Kitna brings fire to the quarterback position. He fastens himself after John Elway. Certainly doesn't have the arm strength or the legs of Elway, but he certainly has a reasonable arm, and he has that dimension that Warren Moon could not add, and that's escapability, the ability to scramble and to make things happen.
Meanwhile, on the other side of the field, Marshall Faulk is just having one of the greatest seasons in NFL history.
Numbers to die for, Marshall Faulk has. He leads the NFL in yards from the line of scrimmage with 2,090. And he could become the first back since Roger Craig in '85 to get 1,000 yards on the ground and 1,000 yards receiving.
There's Marshall Faulk. He accounts for almost half of the Indianapolis offense. The Colts have won the toss. They'll receive. There's Dennis Erickson, native of Everett, Washington, in his 4th season as head coach of the Seahawks. And Jim Mora has some football roots here in Seattle. He started his career in the NFL as the Seahawks defensive line coach in 1978. And back deep, Aaron Bailey averaging 23 yards a return. And Todd Peterson set to kick it off. We're underway in the Kingdome. Short kick. It goes to Bailey at the 10. Up the middle, across the 30. And down at the 37-yard line. That's where Indianapolis and Peyton Manning will take over 1st and 10 after a 26-yard return. Peyton Manning now owns most of the NFL rookie passing records. He's the only quarterback in the NFL to take every snap this season.
And he faces a defense today that will be coming after him. It's a big play defense. They love the zone blitz. They know Peyton Manning's still a rookie. They will come after him today.
Lamont Warren is the man in the backfield, and it goes to Warren. And he struggles to get back to the line of scrimmage. Pick up maybe one. Chad Brown made the stop. And the Colts on offense, they've done a good job protecting Peyton Manning. Tarek Glenn has been outstanding. And the backs and receivers, Marshall Faulk, Marcus Pollard, tight end, has been running at the H-back. Pathan and Small are the wideouts, and Dilger is the tight end. 2nd and 9 from the 38. Manning with time. Complete and close to a first down is Marcus Pollard. In fact, well across midfield and into Seattle territory. Pickup of 18. Here's a look at that Seattle defense. They have been opportunistic, outstanding up front. Michael Sinclair going to the Pro Bowl. The linebackers are fast. Darren Smith, Deshaun Miles, the rookie, gets the start. Chad Brown also headed to Hawaii. So is Sean Springs, Darrell Williams, Jay Bellamy, and Willie Williams is the other corner. First down from the 44. And Lamont Warren still in the backfield. It goes to Warren, and he's stopped for a loss.
And Bill, I had the same impression you did. Where is Marshall Faulk? He's standing on the sidelines. Is number 28, the man with leading the league in all-purpose yardage with 2,090. He's on the sideline, and look at that. He's almost 46% of the team's total gross yards. Second in the NFL, O.J. Simpson was the only one that had more, and yet he's on the sidelines at the moment, and it's hard to figure out why.
Now a loss of 2, so 2nd and 12 now from the Seattle 46. Out of the shotgun. Back to the line of scrimmage. Pickup of maybe one. Jay Bellamy made the stop.
And you know, Bill, we did a little quick research to talk to the Indianapolis Colts folks and ask them about Marshall Faulk, and they say, well, he will play. He didn't start. It was a coach's decision, last-minute decision, and we'll keep you posted on Marshall Faulk because he's not in the game.
3 wideouts. E.G. Green has checked in on 3rd and 11. Peyton out of the shotgun and throws it away. Manning complaining to an official, but that will bring up 4th down and bring on Chris Gardocki.
And the rush was on Manning. He did the wise thing. He couldn't find a receiver downfield. He just simply threw the ball away rather than taking a sack.
Kerry Joseph is the deep man for Seattle, standing back at his own 10-yard line. Gardocki, the left footer. Good high kick. Fair catch called for and made by Joseph. And that's where Seattle will start when we return to the Kingdome after this. Possession of the game as they start at their own 14-yard line. And now there's the final from Foxborough. The Patriots 24-21. So now it's academic. Seattle is out of the playoff picture. Seattle had to hope, but a lot of things happened. Among those that the Seahawks were able to win today and next week against Denver, and that New England would lose both of their remaining games, but the Patriots winning in the final 2 minutes on the Adam Vinatieri field goal.
Big win for the Patriots in their quest for a playoff spot.
After the gain by Ricky Waters, there's John Kitna. 5 touchdown passes, 7 interceptions. Up front, Walter Jones is solid. Kendall, Gray, Habib, the former Bronco, and Howard Ballard starts at right tackle. The backs and receivers, Waters and Strong in the backfield. Galloway and Pritchard are out wide. 2nd and 7 from the 17. Kitna. And a big hit over the middle, and I think probably well-timed. The hit by Steve Morrison on the pass intended for my
defense are their cornerbacks, Burris and Poole. They are quality players. They have very little pass rush.
3rd and 7. Brian Blades has checked in, and Kitna loses the ball but falls on it.
When you're a quarterback, you got to keep your eye, especially in the shotgun. You can't be looking downfield trying to peek at your receivers. That time, John Kitna took his eye off the ball and just dropped it. He was lucky to recover.
So Jeff Feagles will stand in his own end zone on 4th down. Aaron Bailey is back deep, so the Indianapolis Colts should start with good field position. This drives Bailey back and makes the fair catch at the 35-yard line, and that's where Indianapolis will take over after a 55-yard punt.
I can't do anything without the instructions. Nothing.
It's okay. She's got other presents.
They were just here. They were right here. I just had them.
We'll just hide this till her birthday.
She's been wanting this for a long time. If I only had those instructions.
You looked in the box?
I looked in there.
Did you take everything out of it?
Oh, here they are.
Back in 1903, Henry Ford had this crazy dream. Build a quality car and sell it for less. He called it making the desirable affordable. Enter Ford Taurus, the only car in its class to earn a 5-star government front crash test rating. And now it's $1,000 less for all the same equipment. More desirable, more affordable. Funny how a 95-year-old dream can keep coming true. Ford Taurus, built to last.
Will she say, I love it? You shouldn't have. It's just what I wanted. Or will she say, nothing at all? The diamond solitaire necklace. This Christmas goes straight for the heart.
A diamond is forever. De Beers.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of the Super Bowl. Ford Taurus, Ford, built to last. And by IBM, are you ready for e-business?
Well, Marshall Faulk still on the sidelines. 10:53 remaining in the first quarter, no score. And we're told simply it was a coach's decision, nothing more.
That he might play or will play
later today, but it was a coach's decision not to start. So Faulk on the sidelines. Lamont Warren is in the backfield, and Warren gets the ball and out close to midfield.
And Jim Mora obviously likes Marshall Faulk. How could you not? A guy who's 50% of your offense, and Faulk likes Mora. Faulk coming into this year was really unhappy with what happened to him in the previous regime, where he was more of a wide receiver. This year he got to run the ball more as well as catch the ball, as evidenced by his total yards from scrimmage, leading the NFL with over 2,000 yards. But right now, mysteriously, he stands on the sidelines.
After the pickup of 14, 1st and 10 from the 48. Play action. Manning trying to go up top. Complete to Torrance Small. And Small is a guy, since Marvin Harrison went out, who has really stepped out. He's the only big body type receiver that Indianapolis has.
I'm a little surprised to see Torrance Small be able to get deep right here. And he does it on Willie Williams. He's a big receiver, so he's able to stretch out and make the catch, but he is, as they would say in the NFL, speed deficient, yet he was able to go downtown on the post and make that catch.
Play covered 48 yards, so 1st and goal for Indianapolis from the 4. And Lamont Warren is still in. He's the lone setback. Dilger in motion. Warren, touchdown, Colts.
Boy, the Colts made that look easy. I mean, the big play to Small against some pretty good corners. Willie Williams, and Small not the fastest, as I mentioned. And then Lamont Warren getting his opportunity with Faulk on the bench. Just a surge by the offensive line, a huge hole, and he takes it in for the touchdown.
And that quiets the Kingdome crowd. That is Lamont Warren's first touchdown of the season, by the way. On to try the extra point, Mike Vanderjagt, the ex-CFL standout. It's up and good. So with 9:26 remaining in the first quarter, 7-0 Indianapolis. 26 remaining in the first quarter. And the Seahawks seemed to go flat almost after the New England score was announced and they were officially eliminated from the playoffs.
I know they allowed that 3-play drive, 66 yards, and Dennis Erickson was hoping that New England would lose to San Francisco today and lose next week and to the Jets, but they won today, so they are out of the playoffs, the Seahawks.
Well, Steve Broussard fields it out across the 20, battles across the 25. That's where John Kitna will take over 1st and 10 and Monday on CBS. Ever wonder how bad a blind date can be? Watch this one and you'll be glad it isn't you. See the show that critics call the near perfect synthesis of Seinfeld and Raymond, the King of Queens, Monday on CBS. Well, they spotted at the 26. So Kitna brings them up. 3 wideouts. Galloway, Pritchard, and James McKnight has checked in. Waters the lone setback. The double reverse, that's Pritchard who has it, and some running room. And out of bounds at the 42. And a nice block thrown by the quarterback, Kitna.
Kitna's that kind of quarterback. He's that kind of guy. He's a fiery guy. He likes to make plays, and he'll do whatever he takes. Remember talking to him, he said, whatever it takes, just like Elway. I'll even throw a block. Pritchard finally gets the double reverse, and out in front, see if we can see the quarterback. See him there to the left of your screen, number 7, making a block out there on Jeff Burris, the cornerback.
So 1st and 10 after the gain of 17 at the 43. Pritchard in motion. The toss goes to Waters, cuts it in, down at the 47. John Kitna, 25 years old, and Last year, he led the Barcelona Dragons to their first World Bowl championship. Kitna threw for over 400 yards and 2 touchdowns. Took home the MVP trophy, and then came back to Seattle and waited for something to happen. It did about a month ago. Kitna off the play action, plenty of time. Caught, that's Pritchard. And Pritchard has another Seattle first down.
And Kitna waited for Pritchard to get clear. He was actually covered by the linebacker and then broke behind him and came in an open spot. And Kitna waited for him to open. And you see his journey here. He was on the practice squad. And then in '97, he got that World League MVP and learned an awful lot. In his 4 career starts, you see 60% completions, 6 touchdowns, 9 interceptions.
1st and 10 from the Indianapolis 42. Pritchard in motion. Waters, little stutter step. And he's down to the 36-yard line. Bertrand Berry made the stop for Indianapolis.
You know, Kitna could actually be 4-0 as a starter. He's actually 3-1. He won 1 game against Oakland last week, a couple last year, a couple this year. And in the 1 game that he lost to the New York Jets on that horrendous call when Vinny Testaverde still isn't into the end zone.
Waters. And close to another Seattle first down. Michael Barber, the middle linebacker, made the stop. Meanwhile, there's Warren Moon, now in his 15th season in the NFL. He's put up some unbelievable numbers in his career, and that doesn't include 6 years in the CFL playing with the Edmonton Oilers. He ranks 3rd in NFL history behind Dan Marino and John Elway in completions and yardage, and is tied for 4th with Johnny Unitas for career touchdowns.
290 touchdowns. Wow.
Kitna off the play action. Caught close to another first down. Galloway. Jeff Burris had the coverage.
Everybody who plays the Seattle Seahawks says you better find out where 84 is and you better double him up. See how far off Burris is? That's the respect they have for Joey Galloway. Simply a quick hook. The ball is delivered on time. Galloway makes the catch for the first down.
Joey Galloway, chosen as a Pro Bowl alternate. Caught 7 passes last week, his high for the season. This is Waters, little stutter step, and a pickup of 4. That'll bring up 2nd and 6.
You simply can't cover him one-on-one. A couple of weeks ago against the Jets, Aaron Glenn tried, but had no success as Galloway burned him. Here he is, Aaron Glenn. You can't cover him that close. If it's one-on-one, Galloway's going to run right by you, as he does here a couple of weeks ago against Glenn. Ball is well thrown, and then Galloway just runs away from a Pro Bowl cornerback, Aaron Glenn.
He told us if the cornerback comes up, they automatically go deep. Waters, who went over 1,000 yards for the year last week. Tony McCoy made the stop there for Indianapolis on 2nd and 6.
And you know, Bill, you look at Ricky Waters, and it's amazing, a very unique kind of talent. The only back, as far as I know, that has reached 3 different teams 1,000 yards. Remember him with San Francisco, and then he went to Philadelphia, and now here in Seattle, Ricky Waters again over 1,000 yards for his 3rd different team.
Did it 3 times with the Eagles. Kitna will operate out of the shotgun, and again they spread him out. Kitna, first down, Galloway. Inside the 5 and down to the 4. Tyrone Poole saved the touchdown.
You know, they're trying to go one-on-one with Tyrone Poole, who's a terrific cover corner. He's quick, but you cannot cover Joey Galloway one-on-one. See him break to the outside here and just leaves Poole behind, makes the catch, and picks up the first down. It's impossible, and that's the matchup that Seattle's trying to get one-on-one with Joey Galloway on a defensive end.
Pickup of 11, 1st and goal from the 4. 2 wide receivers in. This is Waters. Back to the line of scrimmage. So that'll bring up 2nd and goal. Four minutes remaining in the first quarter. Seattle trying to tie it up after the quick strike by the Indianapolis Colts. 2nd and goal, they spot it at the 3. High formation, Waters the deep back. Galloway in motion. Waters will try again. Picks up maybe one, down to the 2, and that'll bring up 3rd and goal from the 2. Erickson
seems a little unhappy with Ricky Waters. It looked like he lost his footing on that play as they tried twice to just take it up the middle, once to the right side and then to the left side, hoping that Ricky Waters, you know, a big back at 6'1", 220 pounds, could simply power it into the end zone. He hasn't been able to do it.
Well, spotted at the 3, so 3rd and goal from there. 3 wideouts in the game. James McKnight has checked in. Kitna. Touchdown, Galloway.
If I were John Kitna, I would find Joey Galloway as well, especially when he is isolated on a safety, Ray McElroy. That one-on-one's a mismatch. Simply roll out and find Galloway in the end zone, as he did. Touchdown, Seattle.
So Todd Peterson going to try to tie the game at 7. The extra point is good, and with 2:56 left to play in the first quarter, 7-all.
Welcome to the big game, rookie. Let's get it on. Come on, baby, let's go. This is mine. Now let's see what you got.
There's a tough new face in the NFL.
Is that all you got, rookie?
Now we'll never get presents to all the boys and girls around the world. No toys?
Sorry.
Folks need a hand.
Nice hat. Let's get it on the truck. You're gonna love this.
Who saved Christmas?
Glad I could help.
Hey, can I drive?
Season's greetings from UPS.
Ramada and Holiday Inn may look similar, so at Ramada, we do our personal best to attack even the smallest problems. At Ramada, nothing bugs us like imperfection. For reservations, call 1-800-2-RAMADA.
There's a tough new face in the NFL.
The Late Show question of the week.
What's your favorite ice cream flavor?
Rocky Road.
I got it. I said Rocky Road.
Later this week, don't miss John Travolta.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by the NASDAQ Amex Market Group, the market of markets, and by Circuit City. Low prices all over the store.
Back in the Kingdom, John Kitna on that last drive was 4 of 4 for 36 yards. 3-yard touchdown pass to Joey Galloway. Let's take another look. So Galloway with the score. Peterson kicks it off. Aaron Bailey back deep. Takes it at the 5. Cuts to the outside, across the 20, and down to the 24. Look at Joey Galloway, and this week 3-year-old Sterling Grover came down from the North Pole in Alaska to have a special wish granted. He wanted to spend some time with Joey Galloway. He came out for the coin toss, and there he is, looking a little surprised, but has the touchdown ball. Sterling Grover, who's a part of the Make-A-Wish Foundation, and this a very special day for he and his family.
You see his brother Spencer there, who actually shaved his head so that his brother wouldn't feel bad about it. What a nice story.
First and 10 from the 23. Caught. Out to the 30. Ken Dilger, the tight end. Tom Moore says Dilger has really been the quiet hero of the Colts offense this year, catching passes, blocking out of the backfield. Whatever they've asked, he's done. Meanwhile, Marshall Faulk is still on the sidelines. Lamont Warren is the deep back. Manning checking off. Warren thrown for a loss. Sean Springs. What a year Sean Springs is having, Doc.
Sean Springs in his second year is a Pro Bowl cornerback. And when you think about some of the players in the league, for him to be doing that, look at that support. I mean, that is just the way you draw it up, textbook support by a cornerback who's really noted for his coverage ability. They put him on the best wide receiver from the other team. And that time he showed he can run support as well.
3rd and 6 after the loss from the 27. Manning out of the shotgun. 2 wide receivers to the left side, and that's where he'll go. Intercepted. Darrell Williams is still going. Picking his way for a touchdown. But a flag is down, so let's check the penalty. Now, clipping is the preliminary signal.
That's what you would think. I mean, it's a
personal foul. Block below, low block below the knee, number 40. On the return, 15-yard penalty, first down.
This is some run by Darrell Williams. First of all, the throw, he just overthrows Small. And Williams, watch him do a spin around here and come all the way back. That allows his blockers to set up a wall. Take a look at the wall of blockers on that side. And number 40 is the guy that called it on, and that's Joseph with the penalty. So that no touchdown, but a beautiful run.
Well, the Seahawks returned 2 for touchdowns last week against San Diego to set an NFL record for most returns for touchdowns in a season with 12. They'll operate now from the 37. Kitna had time and now is sacked. Ellis Johnson with his first sack of the season.
And they are awesome. Most returns for touchdowns in the NFL. Seattle 12, and 8 of those, 9 of those actually were by the defense. The other return touchdowns. And there's the man who did it, Darrell Williams. He was a Pro Bowl safety last year. This year he didn't make it, but still a big hitter and a key player for that Seattle defense.
Well, a loss of 12 on the sack, so 2nd and 22 from the 48. Kitna. Intended for McKnight. Let's see if they rule it a catch. They say he was out of bounds. James McKnight in his 4th year out of Liberty has the best yards per catch average on the Seahawks, slightly better than Joey Galloway at 17.2. Peyton Manning,
along with Tom Moore, the offensive coordinator who we were talking to about Manning, and said he's delighted with the progress of his rookie quarterback. Wouldn't be happy with that last interception. It was just a poor throw to a covered receiver down the middle of the field. You can't do that.
So 3rd and 22 now from the 48. Kitna out of the shotgun. Has time. Swings it out to Fourier, the tight end. And he gets back close to the original line of scrimmage, a pickup of 10. And that'll bring up 4th down as we near the end of the first quarter. Crowd here at the Kingdome wanting them to go for it. Dennis Erickson having a word with his 25-year-old quarterback. That will bring on Jeff Fiegels and the punting unit. But that is the end of the first quarter with our score: Indianapolis 7, Seattle 7, and we'll return to the Kingdome after this message. At 7, and coming up on the NASDAQ Amex Halftime Report, Jim Nantz, Marcus Allen, Brent Jones, and Michael Lombardi will have all the scores and highlights. That's all coming up on the NASDAQ Amex Halftime Report. So Jeff Fiegels averaging 44.1 yards a punt. Free agent, whose first punt with 57 yards, is on, standing at his own 47-yard line. And back deep for Indianapolis, Aaron Bailey standing at his 10. Seahawks can down it. It looks like they have.
Very close.
So the Colts will start deep in their own territory. So we begin the second quarter. A few words on the field. We'll be back. Late signal for a touchback. They ruled that Kerry Joseph touched the goal line, so the Colts get a break. Marshall Faulk is in the ball game, and Deshaun Miles stops him for a loss.
You know, that was a break on that punt for the Colts to get it. But you take another look, a great play right here by Fred Thomas. He throws it out of the end zone, but the call is this. Watch Joseph come in, Kerry Joseph, and at the very end of his play, he touches the white stripe on the goal line, and they said touchback. That's why the Colts get about it at 20.
Loss of 4, so second and 14 from the 16-yard line. The Seahawks coming on the blitz. Faulk, they dump it out to him. A nice move. And out across the 25 to the 26-yard line.
You know, that's something that Peyton Manning has learned. The blitz is on, and this is a blitzing big play Seattle defense. You see it coming, get the ball off to a receiver, a runner like Marshall Faulk with some space, and he makes it happen. He looked like a matador out there, made the linebacker miss and picked up some good yardage.
Gain of 11. So 3rd and 3 from the 27. Manning out of the shotgun. E.G. Green is split wide to the right side. Manning in and out of the hands of the tight end Ken Dilger. Darren Smith tipped it away.
Darren Smith is one of those really fast linebackers. 6 years he's been around out of Miami. He came from Philadelphia as a free agent, and he's just got that 4.5 speed, so he can cover a tight end man-to-man. He did it that time.
So 4th and 3. Chris Gardocki is in, and Joey Galloway stands back at his own 25-yard line, set to return. High kick takes Galloway back to the 18. Trying to buy some time, and the opportunity closes in a hurry. Tony Blevins made the stop for Indianapolis after a 54-yard punt.
In our quest to learn even more about how people watch TV, we sent out our experts. Both of them.
Romeo, oh Romeo, warum denn Romeo? Verleugne deinen Vater, deinen Namen. Willst du das nicht? Schwör dich zu meinem Liebsten.
Germans don't do romance. They do beer, Becks, the best of what Germans do best.
Turn the pizza around! It's stuffed crust, you eat it backwards! Hey. Carry on!
In case you forgot, you're supposed to eat stuffed crust backwards. With a ring of cheese baked right into the crust, it's the most fun you can have with the pizza. Right now, a large one topping is only $9.99. Pizza Hut, the best pizzas under one roof.
Would you like to work here?
I'm not housebroken.
To find out more about how people watch TV, we sent our experts.
Tune into the channel.
Both of them.
Come on, 40. Ooh. 40.
The result? RCA TVs with Guide Plus Gold, the revolutionary on-screen guide that lets you find what's on faster and easier when you just can't wait.
Broncos, 49ers, Cowboys. America's team is back when the Magnificent Seven returns CBS Friday, January 8th.
Well, next Saturday, CBS heats up the holiday with NCAA hoops. The Louisville Cardinals take on the Kentucky Wildcats. Coverage begins at 1 Eastern. That's next Saturday on CBS. Back here at the Kingdome, 13:26 remaining in the first half. Seahawks fans looking on, not a sellout, so the game is blacked out locally. Ricky Waters across the 20, down to the 21-yard line. 6th in the AFC in rushing, Ricky Waters. But by all accounts, this has to be, John, a disappointing year for Ricky Waters.
For Ricky Waters and for Dennis Erickson as well. I mean, they're 7-7 at the moment, and you know, if you look at it, you could say the torrent rain game they played in Kansas City could have gone either way. Andre Rison gets a after this play to pick it up.
Well, 4 wideouts in the game, and they give it to Waters. He's across the 25 to the 27. Now let's go to Jim Nantz in New York for an NFL update.
Well, Billy Mack, this is almost a facsimile of the play that beat the Chargers when these two teams met earlier in the season. Wade Wilson to Jet for the touchdown, and the Raiders are in front early second quarter. Let's go back to Bill and John.
All right, Jim, thank you very much.
But I was about to say that Seattle could easily have been 8-6 or maybe even 9-5. That game in Kansas City in a rainstorm, and then the Jet game that was taken away from them on a bad call. So things could have been different. It's been a disappointing year for Dennis Erickson.
Toss to Waters. Turn the corner. Does run out of bounds at the 31 by Monty Montgomery.
And that play we were talking about, I mean, they still talk about it around here. Dennis Erickson, the team. Testaverde on a quarterback keeper with time running out. He never gets in the end zone. Cortez Kennedy and Bellalamy hit him. The ball never got in. And but that's not how the officials saw it. They called it a touchdown. The Jets won. And now the Jets are just hoping that Jacksonville loses tonight so they can get the 2nd seed and get a bye in the first round. Of course, they beat Buffalo yesterday, the Jets did.
On 2nd and 6, Kitna from the shotgun. With time, complete to Waters. Waters close to midfield. Tim Houck made the stop from his free safety position after a pickup of 18.
Now, Ricky Waters was just hanging around out there. He wasn't the primary receiver. Kitna was looking downfield at his wide receivers, but then comes back and just sees him hanging around in the flat, and linebackers a little late getting there. Michael Barber picks up the first down.
Always an outstanding receiver, and that one of the criticisms is that they haven't used him enough in that capacity in this offense. Again, Kitna out of the shotgun on first down. Going up top, and intended for Michael Pritchard. Looks like some missed communications.
Now, he thought Pritchard was going to do a deep kind of sideline route, but more on an angle, a 45-degree angle. Pritchard did a 90-degree out, so the ball was overthrown by Kitna. Of course, this is only his 4th start. Warren Moon was the man who started the season, and John Freeze got 1 start. You see them both on the sideline, Moon on the left, Freeze on the right. And then just to try to get some spark, Erickson said, hey, Kitna, get in there and give it your shot.
Oh! Waters on the delay, picking his way to another Seattle first down. On an outstanding block by Pete Kendall, a pickup of 11.
And you know, the rap on Ricky Waters has always been he's a quality back, he's a tough runner, good receiver. But is it worth it? He always wants the ball. He's made noise wherever he's been, whether it be San Francisco, Philadelphia, although they said he's been a model citizen here and has had a good year.
Waters, 12 carries for 50 yards. And the first down from the Indianapolis 39. And again, Kitna will go out of the shotgun on first down. Caught by Galloway. Galloway with the 7 receptions a week ago. That's the most in his career, but the longest was only 15 yards. Well, Monday on CBS, more and more people are discovering that Everybody Loves Raymond is the funniest show on television. Find out why Monday at 9, 8 Central, right here on CBS. So after the pickup of 7, completion to Galloway, 2nd and 3 from the 32. Waters the deep back. Waters stopped for a loss of 1. And that'll bring up 3rd and 4. Tony McCoy got in the Seattle backfield.
You know, what's amazing about Galloway is that he has a TD for every 6.5 catches. I mean, he's just an incredible deep threat. And people may not agree with me, but Joey Galloway doesn't get kind of the accolades that he should get playing out here in Seattle on a team that's been average for the best part of the last 3 years, really a 500 team. If he were playing somewhere else in a big media city, Joey Galloway would be Pro Bowl every year. He may be the best receiver in the NFL.
Galloway split wide to the left side. Kitna looking right and caught by James McKnight for another Seattle first down.
James McKnight early in the year had a case of the drops. He's come on and done a lot better of late. And this ball he catches with his hands and tucks it away in a hurry because he knows the white shirts are coming after him.
And John Kitna is 11 of 8 for 82 yards and a 4-yard touchdown pass to Galloway. So from the 22. Well, he tried to go to McKnight again, and McKnight dropped it. And you mentioned, John, that's been a problem for McKnight.
Well, you know, this is a contact game. I mean, you see the push at the end of the play there. Well, it was a little more than I thought it was. That Michael Barber says, huh, you're going to drop it? I'm going to make you pay for it a little more. And I think Tim Houck might have gotten in on it as well. So but that's been the problem with McKnight. He's been inconsistent. He's dropped balls he shouldn't have dropped, including that one.
Crowd reacting to the replay here in the Kingdome. So 2nd and 10. 4 wideouts in the game for Seattle. Galloway split wide to the left. Waters, he's stopped for a loss. Jason Belser coming in on the safety blitz.
You know, Jason Belser, they say, well, he's too small. He's only 5'9", 196 pounds, but he's blitzing. Watch him on the blitz here. Come in, no one touches him, and he meets the big man in the backfield and brings him down. Waters.
His father, Caesar Belser, played in Super Bowl 4 for Kansas City, and Jason told us that seeing his dad's Super Bowl ring every day was a huge motivating factor in his life. A loss of 2, 3rd and 12 from the 24. Kitna out of the shotgun. Was trying to go for Galloway, and he was double covered. That was almost intercepted. First man to touch it was Ray McElroy.
Wherever Galloway goes, there's going to be 2 or 3. Here's on the post. He's being covered by the corner. Safety comes over and gets some help. That's McElroy comes in to dive in to make the play and knock it away. But Galloway is often double teamed and triple teamed, and that time no shot for Kitna to get it in on the post pattern.
So that'll bring on Todd Peterson, who has made 17 of 20 field goal tries this year. This will be from 42 yards out. Has a long of 51 and has really been solid inside of 40 yards. Has missed only 1 attempt. Jeff Fiegels, the punter, is the holder. It's on its way and good. So it's 7:31 left in the half. 10-7 Seahawks.
It has arrived. The all-new 1999 Chrysler LHS. Timeless design, luxurious appointments, and power inside and out. On one hand, it's exceptionally quiet. On the other hand, it screams luxury. The 1999 Chrysler LHS. Chrysler, engineered to be great cars. Lease the all-new Chrysler LHS for just $399 a month.
Great timepieces are built to run forever without replacing batteries. But only one of these is smart enough to run forever on any kind of light. Echo Drive from Citizen. Live at the speed of light.
Okay, here's our plan to help businesses handle the holiday rush with Priority Mail. We'll add extra planes. That should help a lot. We'll add extra trucks. That should help a lot too. We'll add extra people. A lot more help than any other shipper. But Priority Mail doesn't cost a lot. Just $3. So, what's your priority?
Chicken sandwich or burger? Take a dance with Lady Cluck. Okay, which one?
That one.
This one right here?
Yeah.
Wrong. Burger. You lose.
Eat chicken that looks like chicken. Introducing Subway's Chicken Fajita Sub, topped with Old El Paso thick and chunky salsa. Subway, the way a sandwich should be.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Citizen. Today more than ever, Citizen is how the world tells time. RCA, changing entertainment again. And by Subway, the way a sandwich should be.
And back at the Kingdome, 7:31 to play in the half. After the 42-yard Todd Peterson field goal, the Seahawks up 10-7. 13-play drive, covered 59 yards. Aaron Bailey takes it a yard deep in the end zone. Spins out of one tackle, gets across the 20, and down at the 24. And that's where Peyton Manning and company will take over when we come back to Seattle.
Ding dong. Oh, the champagne's not Corbell. Uh-oh, gotta go. Ding dong. Oh, the champagne's not Corbell. Uh-oh, gotta go.
Corbell, official champagne of the Millennium Celebration.
The marvel of its aerodynamics. The sheer exhilaration of takeoff. It's enough to make an aerospace engineer jealous. Chrysler Concorde. Ranked best premium midsize car in initial quality by J.D. Power and Associates. Now, lease a Concorde LX for $289 a month. Chrysler, engineered to be great cars.
Some guys are born romantics.
He's looking at you, kid.
But for the rest of us, there's Kay Jewelers.
This Christmas, Kay's diamond solitaire necklaces start from $99.95.
Here's looking at you, kid.
Kay Jewelers for a legendary romance like yours.
I can't do anything without the instructions. Nothing.
It's okay. She's got other presents.
They were just here. They were right here. I just had them.
We'll just hide this till her birthday.
She's been wanting this for a long time. If I only had those instructions.
You looked in the box?
I looked in there.
Did you take everything out of it?
Oh, here they are.
This is Tony Manders of the Indianapolis Colts with a reminder to support your United Way. The NFL, the United Way, and you. The power of teamwork.
A tradition unlike any other. The Masters on CBS Sports.
Well, next weekend, the regular season winds up on CBS. On Saturday, Kansas City and Oakland. Then on Sunday, it's doubleheader action. In the early game, you'll see New England and the Jets. And in the late game, the Seahawks take on Denver. It all starts at noon Eastern time with the NFL Today. That's next weekend on CBS. 1st and 10 for Indianapolis. It goes to Marshall Faulk, and he's stopped for a loss. Deshaun Miles, the rookie, starting at middle linebacker, got into the Indianapolis backfield.
You know what they say when they talk about Deshaun Miles? They say he plays downhill. That means he's always aggressive in going after the ball carrier. See him fill that hole, and that's a rookie in for Dean Wells, who is out with an injury.
Miles was Seattle's 4th-round draft pick this year. A loss of 3, 2nd and 13. Peyton and Small are the wideouts. Small in motion off the bootleg. And the throwback to Faulk. Faulk makes a nifty little move. It can only get back to the 20. So a loss of 2, and that'll bring up 3rd and 15. E.G. Green now has checked in as the 3rd wideout for Indianapolis.
And just to update you, Marshall Faulk did not start the game, but he's in there now, and he's chasing Barry Sanders for the from line of scrimmage record. He came into the game with 2,090, and Barry Sanders has over 2,300 yards. He would love to break that record, and also to become the first back ever to have 1,000 on the ground and 1,000 through the air since Roger Craig in '85.
Manning to Dilger, and he stopped at the line of scrimmage. So the Colts are 0 of 4 on 3rd down. Dilger just hit immediately. So once again, we'll see Chris Gardocki. And Joey Galloway is back deep. Galloway standing at his own 35-yard line. Rocky gets it away. Hangs it up. Galloway will have a return. Spins out. And nothing doing. 53-yard punt from Chris Gardocki. 11 remaining in the first half. 10-7 Seattle. And the Seahawks will take over just past the 24-yard line. 3 wideouts. As you see, the Colts, this has been one of the many problems that Indianapolis has had, being outscored like that in the second quarter. Waters picking his way out across the 25. Down to the 27. Elijah Alexander made the stop for the Colts.
And you look for motivation in a game like this. What does each team have to play for? Seattle's playoff hopes were dashed when New England won today. That was one of the parts of the scenario. So, I mean, right now it's Dennis Erickson's job. He's on the hot seat. Team 7-7, and they'd like to finish up 9-7, even if they don't make the playoffs. But still, that's one of the motivations, and plus jobs for the players in the future.
Max Strong, the fullback, in motion. Kitna going deep to Galloway. Incomplete. And there was a real battle between Galloway and Tyrone Poole for the football.
You know, one of the things that Bill Polian did, general manager of the Colts, he went out and got 2 good cornerbacks and paid a ton of money for them, $40 million for Tyrone Poole and Jeff Burris. And here Poole shows you why he was worth that kind of money. He can run with the speed wide receivers like this. And even though he's only 5'8", he plays big. That time, at the end of that play, watches the ball and knocks it away from Joey Galloway. Very few guys can run with Galloway like that.
Tyrone Poole was picked up by the Colts in a trade with Carolina. He was originally the Panthers' #1 draft pick in 1995. So now Kitna out of the shotgun on 3rd and 7. Pritchard. Nice grab, first down.
Nice grab, nice throw also, Bill. I mean, before Pritchard had turned around, that ball was already in the air, and Poole actually had pretty good coverage. But as he's turning around, take a look, it's bump and run. Poole will do this on Pritchard. He won't do it on Galloway. And then watch, the ball is already in the air. Very little time for Poole. And Poole is only 5, as we mentioned. He's only 5'8". And after the throw, yes, Kitna gets hammered there, but beautiful throw, good catch.
Part of the learning curve, hanging in the pocket. Pickup of 19. So from the 46, and Kitna will throw it again. Caught, Waters. Up the sidelines and down to the 32.
The reason that went for a bigger gain after the catch was Jason Belzer. You know, was it between? He didn't know whether to go for the interception, go for the knockdown, or go to make the tackle. He did none of the above, and that allowed Ricky Waters to pick some extra yards up after the catch.
Gain of 23. And the Seahawks 179 total yards compared to 92 for Indianapolis. 1st and 10 from the 32. Waters down to the 28. Michael Barber made the stop. Barber in his 4th year out of Clemson.
They actually like Barber, but they don't like a lot on their defense. You talk to Jim Mora, Bill Polian, and they'll tell you, we need big-time help, especially at the defensive end position, especially at the linebacker position, maybe another safety. This is one of the worst defenses in the NFL.
Now the Colts ranked 29th against the run and 28th overall. Again, it's Waters. Stopped at the 25, and that'll bring up 3rd down. Clock is running. Now 2.5 minutes left in the half.
We have 2 running backs in this game, over 1,000 yards for the season, Marshall Faulk and Ricky Waters. And if you look at the comparison so far, it's all Ricky Waters, 17 carries, 58 yards. But remember that Marshall Faulk did not start this game and hasn't had a lot of touches so far.
Well, they're going to let it reach the 2-minute warning. John Kitna, all smiles on the sideline. He's played well. 10-7, Seattle. 2 for for the Seahawks, and Armand Green has checked in at running back. He's the rookie out of Nebraska and averaging 6.1 yards a carry. Seahawks at 12 first down. Green gets the call, and it's going to be close. Depends on the spot. Armand Green had a 61-yard run earlier this year. That helped the average. Coming up on the NASDAQ Amex halftime report, Jim Nance, Marcus Allen, Brent Jones, and Michael Lombardi will have all the scores and highlights. That's all coming up on the NASDAQ Amex halftime report.
You know, I was watching Jim Nance before the game, and I love the fact that Steve Spurrier called Jim to say, hey, wait a minute. I'm being talked about all around the NFL for all of these jobs. And he said, no, I deny that. I'll be back at Florida.
Green is still the tailback. Galloway in motion as the Seahawks go for it on fourth down. And Green loses the handle, but may have picked up the first down.
It's real close. Looks like they're going to measure it. But, you know, it was interesting that everyone's been talking about Spurrier as a possible replacement around the league. But he said absolutely, positively, I'm not leaving Florida. And he actually called Jim to tell him that.
First down the other way.
Jerry Markbright explaining that it will go over on downs. So the Colts will take over 1st and 10 from their own 25.
There's actually a fumble on that play, and then it was picked up by another player and got the first down. Can't do that. Can't advance it with another player. So the Colts take over, as you mentioned.
Numbers for Peyton Manning. Manning. Caught. That's Jerome Payton, the rookie out of the University of Washington. And Payton will run the 2-minute offense, trying to get him up quickly after the pickup of 11. Falk gets a couple. And the Colts will take a timeout with 48 seconds remaining in the half. 10-7 Seattle.
Honey, I'm going to Staples to pick up a few gifts. Be back soon.
Attention shoppers, looking for the perfect gift? Well, check out aisle 3 for great prices on Sharp mobile organizers. And save on Panasonic phones. No, not you! You! Yes! And I, or any husband, would love one of those nice global chairs. I need the leather one! Get a leather chair!
For great gift ideas and over 7,000 items at guaranteed low prices at Staples. Yeah, we've got that.
Well, some obvious disappointment on the Seattle sideline after being eliminated from the playoffs. That's Hillary Butler, backup linebacker. The loss to New England, eliminating the Seahawks, regardless of what they do these final 2 weeks. 3 wide receivers in for Peyton Manning, 2 to the left side. Quick slant, and with room, that's E.G. Green, the rookie. And he's out inside the 40. And the Colts are up quickly after the pickup of 26. Clock is running. 30 seconds now remaining in the half. Manning to the sideline. And again, it's Green trying to work his way out of bounds. And he gets there.
You know, talking to Peyton Manning, he'll say that the only way you can get better, and the reason he's gotten so much better than the beginning of the year, is simply playing, experience. And here he is getting some practice in the 2-minute drill, and this will pay dividends down the road. Meanwhile, the guy he'll be tied with in history forever, Ryan Leaf, sits, played a little last week. It was a devastating day for him. And remember Manning saying, I feel for Leaf. It's kind of that quarterback fraternity.
Well, after that terrible start, Peyton in the last 3 weeks had thrown for 726 yards, 8 touchdowns, and only 3 interceptions. Managing the clock well here. Caught by Falk, and he's out of bounds to stop the clock again.
Managing it real well and moving the ball around. He goes to his wide receivers, Green, a couple of times, gets out of bounds, and then just rolls out and gets the ball to Falk, who gets out of bounds. This is a very nice drive, and it's sort of a drive for a quarterback beyond his years. Remember, he's only a rookie. I know it's the end of his first year, and he's taken every snap, which you said earlier, Bill, which is a remarkable thing, the only quarterback in the NFL to take every snap.
So 1st and 10 from the 23, 18 seconds remaining. 2 wide receivers to the left side. That's where he's looking. Caught by Peyton. Peyton is down to the 15. Willie Williams made the stop. Timeout on the field, 12 seconds remaining in the half.
Now we'll never get presents to all the boys and girls around the world. No toys?
Sorry.
Folks need a hand.
Nice hat. Let's get it on the truck. You're gonna love it.
Who saved Christmas?
Glad I could help.
Hey, can I drive?
Season's greetings from UPS.
Well, Peyton Manning 5 of 5 for 58 yards on this drive. And they'll have at least one shot at the end zone here.
They have one timeout left and 12 seconds to certainly take a shot at the end zone. There's plenty of time to do that and still regroup for the field goal.
Well, Mike Vanderjagt, the kicker, has been automatic inside the 40 this year. Manning out of the shotgun after the pickup of 8 at 2nd and 2. From the 15. Looks right, throws left. Peyton, the intended receiver, and overthrows him. He was battling Fred Thomas in the end zone. So still 8 seconds remaining in the half.
Still have enough time for another shot and the field goal. I mean, it's 3rd down. Why not take another shot?
One timeout remaining. Numbers for Peyton Manning, those are pretty impressive. Look at Mike Vanderjagt. 8 seconds left in the half. Throws it up. Intended for Torrance Small on the fade route and incomplete. And that will bring on Mike Vanderjagt on 4th and 2 with 4 seconds left in the half.
Sean Springs all over Torrance Small. I think Manning was just hoping, well, if I can get it to the 6'3" Small on a perfect throw in the corner, I might be able to steal one on a great cornerback, but no dice. So Colts will have a chance to tie.
So a 33-yard field goal attempt. Vanderjagt with a strong leg. This a virtual chip shot. It's up and good as time runs out in the first half. The 32-yard field goal ties the score. So that's the end of the first half. 10-all, and coming up on the NASDAQ Amex Halftime Report, Jim Nantz, Marcus Allen, Brent Jones, and Michael Lombardi will get you caught up on all the scores and highlights right after this word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS. John Dockery, good to have you with us. And what about that first half? Let's start with Marshall Faulk. He didn't play in the first quarter, and you have an update on that.
Yeah, no, I talked to Bill Polian at halftime, and he told me it was the coach's decision. He did not start him because of a minor infraction. He said he was a few minutes late for a meeting last night, and Jim Mara made the decision to, get his attention and didn't start Marshall Faulk, but he's back playing now.
Well, the first touchdown was a 3-yard pass from John Kitna to Joey Galloway.
And Galloway has 4 catches in the first half for 32 yards, and that touchdown. And watch after this play, a nice gesture.
Sterling Grover is the 3-year-old here, Make-A-Wish Foundation, and that was a lovely moment. What a day for this young lad. He's just eyes wide open, and came out for the coin toss earlier, as you saw from our NFL Today halftime report. And Joey Galloway has spent a lot of time with that young man this week, who made the trip down from the North Pole in Alaska.
And he loves Joey Galloway. He's his favorite player.
So Mike Vanderjagt kicks it off to start the second half. Steve Broussard, and now the reverse, and plenty of running room for Armand Green. Green, as a flag goes down, is tackled at the 35. So some trickery to start the second half for Seattle.
Why not a little reverse on the kickoff return when you're 7-7 and you've dropped out of the playoffs? A big disappointment for Dennis Erickson.
Illegal block, number 83 on the return, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Robert Wilson called for the infraction. And let's take a look at the numbers from the first half, John.
And look at that, not much for the Colts in terms of rushing yards. We mentioned Marshall Faulk being out, but he's back now, and pretty much of an even game. I think one thing that doesn't show up in those stats, Bill, is the only penalty of the first half negated a Seahawk touchdown return. So that's a big play that doesn't appear in those numbers.
3 wideouts for John Kitna. Also play action, roll out. Kitna fires, incomplete, intended for Galloway.
Galloway was actually open coming over the middle, and Kitna just let that ball go. It escaped from him and went high for Galloway. Now, Galloway's not the biggest receiver. He's 5'11", and John Kitna, see his numbers there on your screen.
Not spectacular. He's coming off actually his worst performance as a pro last week against the Chargers with the 3 interceptions. But Dennis Erickson also said Kitna made some big throws. He ran one in for a touchdown, and Dennis felt that Kitna grew a lot as a quarterback last week. 2nd and 10. The delayed handoff to Waters. And Waters is out across the 25 down to the 28-yard line.
I was a little bit surprised when we talked to Dennis Erickson how high he was on his quarterback, John Kitna. I mean, this is only his 4th start this year, only 5th in his career. A guy who is a free agent, is on the practice squad, plays in the World League as the MVP there, and now he replaces Warren Moon, a legend in the game. And, Dennis Erickson is saying he's the present and the future of the Seattle Seahawks offense.
3rd and 4 from the 28. Kitna will throw it. Here they come on the blitz. And Kitna had to get rid of it. Jason Belzer was closing in a hurry. So a wise move.
And what he said, Erickson, is that Kitna, and he was wise to get rid of that ball in a hurry. He had no chance. Just bring some fire and some mobility and some emotion to the Seattle Seahawks offense, and that was missing. When, of course, Warren Moon was hurt earlier in the season. He had those ribs and really never came back from that rib injury.
Eagles punt. Bailey fields in at his own 33. Has some room. And he's driven down hard, just short of midfield. So 13:51 remaining in the 3rd quarter, 10-all.
Every year at this time, folks at Southwest Airlines get together to cook dinner at the Ronald McDonald House.
Request clearance for landing.
It's a special home where families can stay while their seriously ill children undergo treatment at a nearby hospital. The Ronald McDonald Houses are Southwest Airlines' primary charity. Thanks to your support, these children receive a special gift every day of the year, a gift of hope. From our families to yours, happy holidays.
Merry Christmas, Herb.
And a Merry Christmas to you, too.
The new Acura RL has distinctive styling to appeal to your elegant side. A performance-tuned suspension to satisfy your assertive side. And a sophisticated front and side airbag system to protect both sides. The new RL from Acura.
At the center of a great PC experience is a Pentium 2 processor.
Tis the season to be sharing.
Complete with a fully operational slide-away canopy. Hey, golf balls.
Hold them up. Everybody loves Raymond, CBS Monday.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NFL for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NFL's consent is prohibited.
Chris Kringle among those in attendance here at the Kingdome. They actually had snow here yesterday afternoon. After the 17-yard return, 1st and 10 from the 49. Manning keeps it. He'll throw it. And Peyton makes the grab at the 35.
And you're a special teams player or a punt returner, and you're Aaron Bailey. The good ones always have that first move up the middle. Watch him fake outside and then burst up the middle. That's what gets a lot of punt returners loose. But at the end of this play, he pays the price. Mike Kroll, dead-on hit. The 7th-year player out of Nebraska. Watch this big hit. Bailey goes right, stopped in his tracks.
Mike Kroll, originally Denver's first-round draft choice in 1991. Now here in backup capacity. First down from the 35. Mix up in signals. And Falk gets back to the line of scrimmage.
A little bit of a surprise there because they've been on the same, and Peyton Manning's played every play as we mentioned, and Falk has been a major factor. I'm a little surprised to see at this point in the season a major mix-up like this. Falk appeared to be going left side, and Peyton Manning thought he was going the other way. So, you know, we talked about the reason he didn't start today was that he was a little bit late, a few minutes late is what Bill Polian said for a meeting last night. So Jim Mara decided to sit him for a while early, did not start Marshall Falk.
Loss of 1, 2nd and 11. Manning from the shotgun. Tipped at the line of scrimmage, intended for Falk. Michael Sinclair got a hand on it. Michael Sinclair, who leads the AFC with 15 sacks, also has forced 5 fumbles.
And Michael Sinclair, as you watch him come in from the left side of your screen right there, no one touches him, would like nothing better than to get that 16th sack so he could tie Jacob Green's record, Seattle Seahawks.
Michael Sinclair, chosen for the Pro Bowl, his 3rd straight trip to Hawaii. From the shotgun, 3rd and 11. Manning under pressure. And steps out of bounds.
Michael Sinclair had all kinds of pressure on Peyton Manning as he takes that quick outside rush. And this is what the great pass rushers do. He'll come to the left of your screen right there, number 70. He gets a hand on Manning and forces him out of the pocket quickly. He didn't get the sack, but he certainly disrupted that play. And Michael Sinclair, what was he telling us? He was saying, you know, he has a stinger, a neck stinger. He had 4 of them in 7 days, so he was unsure about playing this day. But there he is out on the field, Michael Sinclair.
Well, now, on 4th and 11, Mike Vanderjagt is on to try a 53-yard field goal. On its way.
Oh,
just short.
Just short.
But a flag is down, so let's check the penalty. Perhaps roughing the kicker. Jerry Markbright trying to sort things out.
I've got running into the kicker. Running into the kicker. The second man was pushed into. The first man knocked him down. It's a 5-yard penalty. It'll be 4th down again.
A very clear explanation as we take a look at it again. He said the first man hit the kicker. We'll see who the first man is. The second was knocked into the kicker. Wow, I mean, and the kick was just a little bit short. Look at how close it is. It almost skims the bottom of the goalpost, but no, you know, it's over. It's a penalty, so they move the ball up and give him another shot. And if he kicks it the same way, it will be long enough because he didn't miss by much.
And this will come from 48 yards out. Already with 1 field goal, they'll do it to a chorus of boos. And this one has plenty of room. It's good. So with 11:48 remaining in the 3rd quarter, the Indianapolis Colts 13, the Seattle Seahawks 10.
Introducing a sports sedan that sets a new standard of performance, and a touring sedan that sets a new standard of luxury. Here they are. Introducing the new TL with the satellite-linked navigation system from Acura.
This Christmas, help your kids do better in school so they'll do better in life. Give them a compact Presario Creative Learning Series PC, only at Radio Shack. Now with a $100 Radio Shack gift certificate and no interest until the year 2000.
$148 million people on the internet. 67,000 more jump in every day. With so many people doing so much business, no wonder it's sometimes so unpredictable. And that's where we come in. We make the things that make the internet faster, more reliable. Everything you always imagined it could be. Lucent Technologies. We make the things that make communications work.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of the Super Bowl. The 1999 TL, luxury, performance, pick two. And by First Union, your guide to the financial world.
11:48 remaining in the third quarter, 13-10 Indianapolis. And look at Dennis Erickson. You know, they may be out of the playoffs, but this is a meaningful game for Dennis. In terms of job security, there was a goal to make the playoffs at the start of the season as Steve Broussard brings it back. And is out across the 30-yard line. Return of 28 yards. Dennis Erickson wants a face mask, won't get it. 11:36 left in the third quarter.
In the financial world, to survive, you must keep on the move. It is not a world for the hesitant or the timid. Sometimes, to defend against larger, fiercer competitors, your best choice is merger or acquisition. But beware, lest your careful, well-planned strategy should result instead in failure or doom. In these troubled waters, experience, knowledge, and size are your best allies. If you're considering strengthening your company through merger or acquisition, think first of First Union. Wherever you plan to go, we have been there before. Come to the mountain called First Union. Or if you prefer, the mountain will come to you.
What is it, Eve?
It's Victor. I think he knows something.
Score 94-84. Tigers by 10. No one said this would be easy.
I don't care if it's easy, Rudy. I love you.
It may be just what you need to break out of your routine. A four-wheel drive CR-V from Honda.
This is my shield. To meet expectations against the best and myself, against the opposition.
Call now and get geared up for the holidays.
The Great American Race, the Daytona 500, only on CBS Sports.
Well, on the sideline, Steve Broussard is still down, and let's take a look at what happened. He actually ran into Brian Habib. Take a look.
That's C. Habib, yeah, number
Habib
68.
Barely budged at 6'7", 300 pounds.
Tough to budge, Habib. And Broussard was actually moving a few moments ago and is sitting up now, and that's certainly a good sign. We don't know what his injury is yet, but we'll try to keep you posted.
So the Seahawks take over 1st and 10 from their own 32. Wager's the man in motion. Kitna sacked. Good coverage. That's probably going to go down as a coverage sack. Great job by the secondary.
And checking his eyes, I wonder if he got popped in the helmet in the head and maybe, was a little bit dizzy. So checking his eyes to see the dilation to see perhaps whether he has a concussion or not. But he's talking, he appears to be okay. That's good news.
So a loss of 7, 2nd and 17. Galloway, Pritchard, and Blades are the wideouts. Two wide receivers to the left side. Kitna out of the shotgun. Steps up. Ricky Waters had it drop in and out of his hands, and he dropped it. So that'll bring up 3rd down. And let's take a look at the CBS Sportsline question of the week. Who would you pick as the NFL's top rookie performer? Randy Moss, Fred Taylor, or perhaps some of you might want to do a write-in vote for Peyton Manning. Log on to vote at CBSSportsline.com or on America Online at keyword CBS Sportsline.
How could you not pick Randy Moss? He's had the most incredible year of anyone. 15 touchdowns, over 1,200 yards, almost 20 yards a catch. Randy Moss has been awesome for Minnesota.
3rd and 17. Kitna for Galloway.
Oh, wow.
Right at the 1st down marker. Jeff Burris had good coverage, but Galloway able to pick up the ball quickly.
And you mentioned that's what the most important point on this play is, his reflexes and the ability to turn around and find the ball. Ball's already here, and it's away from him. He makes the adjustment and the catch for the first down.
Galloway goes out. Seattle picks up the first down, a gain of 18 from the 43-yard line. Ricky Waters, the deep back. Blades in motion. Waters. Pickup of 9. It'll be 2nd and 1. Steve Morrison made the tackle.
Classic Ricky Waters. How many times have you seen him do this for San Francisco, for Philadelphia? The high knee action of Ricky Waters. Watch him come through the hole. Pick him up. See how high his knees are coming? If you're a defensive back trying to deal with that, it can be very painful and very difficult because, you know, as you duck down to get him, you either get hit in the head or the shoulder pad or somewhere. Just a big horse to pull down Ricky Waters.
Waters, first down and more. Out inside the 40 and down to the 39. Nice block by the fullback, Max Strong.
You know, when you talk to the Indianapolis Colts and their defensive coaches and Jim Mara, he'll tell you that our defense just isn't that strong. Yeah, we like our tackles. We do. We like Ellis Johnson. We like Tony McCoy. At the outside, we're a little small, especially Burt Berry at the right defensive end, pretty small, and they're taking advantage of that defensive line right now. Seattle is.
1st and 10 from the 39. Kitna, pump fake. Lets it go as he's going down and incomplete. Ellis Johnson had the pressure.
And Ellis Johnson is has a combination of quickness and strength, and he is really a force. And you see him right here, number 62 coming. I'm surprised Kitna got that ball off, but obviously it affected the throw. It was short to Joey Galloway down. He was looking for him to go downtown.
Well, after the initial letdown of being eliminated from the playoffs with that win by New England, the Seahawks have come back and played well. 3 wideouts in now for Seattle. Richard, Galloway, and Blades. This is Blades. Pickup of 4. So that'll bring up 3rd down. Tyrone Poole made the stop along with Steve Morrison.
And Brian Blades, 11 years, just a tough, experienced pro. That's what he is. Make the tough catch in traffic. That's what he does here as he's pounded by 2 Colts, holds on to the ball.
They spotted at the 36, so it's 3rd and 7. Galloway is split to the left side. Waters the lone setback. Kitna on the delay to Waters, and he'll be well short of the first down. Pickup of 1. So that'll bring up 4th down. Ray McElroy and Bertrand Berry made the stop for the Colts. So now a long field goal try for Seattle. Todd Peterson has a long this year of 51 yards. This will be from about 53 yards out. Made his first try from 42. Jeff Fiegels is the holder. On its way.
Oh, almost.
Just wide to the right side. So with 7:49 remaining in the 3rd quarter, our score remains 13-10 Colts.
Excuse me, I just need to get my bag. Excuse me. Excuse me.
It's more than a car. It's a state of mind. The Accord from Honda.
Celebrate. Home for the holidays. Celebrate. I believe I've missed each and every face. Come on and play one easy. Let's turn on every love light in the place. It's time I found myself totally surrounded in your circles. Oh, my friends, please celebrate me home. Celebrate me home.
when everyone should be in good hands.
They're battling for bragging rights in the Bluegrass State. The defending national champs Kentucky collide with Louisville. The road to the Final Four next Saturday on CBS. The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Honda Accord and by Bud Light, with a great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down.
Seattle going for their 6th win at home. That would be their best record in the Kingdom since 1987. They trail the Indianapolis Colts by 3. 7:49 left to play in the third quarter. Manning off the play action. Steps up, trying to go deep for Small, and what a catch.
And Sean Springs is complaining that he was pushed off by Small, but I think it's just a matter of incidental bumping down there, and Small just running. I'm surprised Springs allows him to get to bump and run. Springs does this so well, and then they're just running. And you'll see it right there. You see it slows down Springs and he falls, and that allows Torrance Small to make the catch.
A gain of 53, and that'll set up 1st and goal from inside the 5. Torrance Small used to catch passes with Peyton Manning when he was with the Saints, and Peyton was still in high school. 1st and goal. Dilger, the man in motion. Falk picking his way close to the goal line and stopped just short.
Very close to the goal line, and this is where the Colts could have used a power running back, and we all know that Craig Ironhead Haywood would have been that man, but for that operation that he had for that tumor behind his eye. He's recovering well, but he would have been the lead blocker and the man to take it in on short yardage, and that's a deficiency that the Colts had. I'm not saying Falk can't take it over the top. He's got great spring, and they'll probably give it to him again right here.
From the 1, 2nd and goal. Manning off the play action. Wanted to find Falk. And caught Marcus Pollard, the H-back. 3rd touchdown of the season for Marcus Pollard.
And Marcus Pollard, the former basketball player with all those instincts of dealing in space, what he did so well as Manning was rolling out, he stopped his pattern and stopped and found the hole in the end zone to make the catch. And, you know, he's 6'4", 250 pounds. Now watch. Manning's rolling out, and if Pollard keeps running, you see him right there, side of your screen, he's covered, but instead he stops. Peyton Manning anticipates it, throws it hard to the basketball player. Touchdown, Colts.
Marcus Pollard played 2 years at power forward for Bradley. The extra point is up and good. 6:18 left to play in the third quarter. 20-10, Indianapolis.
Dad, EJ, 170 million. That's a record. Think it's gonna change you?
Absolutely not. EJ Tucker's never been about money. EJ Tucker's never played for money, and money will not change EJ Tucker, not one iota.
Say, is that a Bud Light?
Oh, yeah, it's last one. Oh, yeah? Well, what do you say I give you $1 million for?
With a great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down, make it a Bud Light.
What do you want for that watch?
Chicken sandwich or burger? Take a dance with Lady Cluck. Okay, which one? That one. This one right here?
Yeah.
Wrong. Burger. You lose.
Eat chicken that looks like chicken. Introducing Subway's Chicken Fajita Sub, topped with Old El Paso thick and chunky salsa. Subway, the way a sandwich should be.
The amazing Wizard rotary tool.
Does detail work. Sharpen tools.
The Wizard has 25% more torque.
Soon your TV will have over 500 channels. Almost enough to show you everything the Wizard can do. The Wizard, built by Black & Decker.
Giving NFL Game Day 99 better graphics and gameplay was easy. The hard part was deciding between all the new end zone celebrations.
Party. Next.
That's nice.
Looking good, Terrell.
No! I ain't this!
Which is fine.
Less is more. But hey, when the result's a game this real, it's worth the trouble.
Stop that, please.
Ew.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
PlayStation.
What kind of business deal
All we have to do is pretend to be your family.
could end in true love?
Life has a way of surprising us.
Roma Downey, Hector Elizondo, Borrowed Hearts, CBS Tonight.
The Colts have scored on their last 3 possessions. 6:18 remaining in the third quarter, have increased their lead to 10. Marcus Pollard on the 1-yard touchdown reception. And Peyton Manning has now thrown a touchdown pass for 12 straight games. Steve Broussard, meanwhile, is back, and he'll field this at the 6. Across the 20 and down to the 27-yard line. That's where the Seahawks will take over 1st and 10. And this young man has virtually rewritten the rookie record book. Try to say that 12 times fast.
Rewritten the rookie record book. Thank you. Look at that. 1st in attempts, 1st in completions, 1st in yards, 1st in touchdowns. You mentioned the 12 straight games. I mean, this is a masterpiece, a work in progress, and the progress has been dramatic. You talk to Tom Moore, you talk to Jim Moore, and they'll tell you, we never believed that Peyton Manning would come this far in this period of time.
From the 28, Waters picks his way for a couple. Peyton said that the record that really means the most to him is Charlie Connerly's rookie record for touchdown passes, because Charlie Connerly was a hero of his dad's. Archie was growing up. He said that one was really special. But he also said in typical modest form, he said, you know what, nobody's going to think about these things. Nobody knows rookie records. The other ones are the ones that count.
Who cares what Dan Marino did in his rookie year, or Joe Namath, or Terry Bradshaw? It's what you do when you start winning and winning playoff games and championships.
Waters on the swing pass. And he stopped for a loss of 1 by Monty Montgomery.
And when you think about some of the rookies and the great players that have come through and the TDs they've had, it's something else. And you mentioned Charlie Connerly right there, the one that you liked the most, but there's Peyton Manning at the top of that list. And look at some of these other guys. Joe Willie only had 18. Marino in '83 played with that good Miami team. He had 20. So, I mean, it's interesting to see what some of the great quarterbacks did early on in their careers.
Out of the shotgun now on 3rd down. Kittner with time. Sprinting to his right, trying to buy a little more, and out of bounds. And a flag is down, a late hit. Larry Chester may have extended the action beyond the bounds of the field.
64, defense, 15-yard penalty, 1st down.
And that will be costly.
You know, he had no place to throw the ball. As you watch him, his receivers did nothing whatsoever. It surprises me that Galloway, but watch at the end of this play. Let me give you a little more. Ooh, that's a good way to hurt a knee. Wow. Chester straining, gets a piece of him. Now he needs to let go, but instead he pulls him down behind. It's a good way to get injured.
Chester, the rookie out of Temple, so it'll be 1st and 10 from the 44. Waters, the lone setback, takes the pitch, cuts it back. Nice job of running, still on his feet, and a Seattle 1st down. Pickup of 12.
A cutback was the only thing that was open to Ricky Waters here, and he's a terrific cutback runner, and he bounces off some people. As you watch Ricky Waters, I mean, there's some pretty good tacklers. Number 45 right there, see him? That's Tim Houck, and he's one heck of a safety, and a tackler bounces off Ricky Waters. Waters picks up some extra yardage in the 1st down.
They spotted at the 44. Pritchard, McKnight, and Blades are the wideouts. Waters inside the 40, down to the 39. And Seattle has really gone to a more balanced offense in recent weeks. Last week against San Diego, running it 34 times, throwing it 31 times. In the last 3 weeks, they've averaged over 330 yards a game compared to only 270 in the first 11 weeks of the season, and really that was one of the criticisms of the offense. It wasn't wide open enough.
And Ricky Waters is part of that balance you're talking about. He's over 100 yards, 24 carries, 102 yards for Ricky Waters.
And Waters will get it again on 2nd down. And tackled hard, close to another 1st down by Tim Houck.
And you mentioned about a more productive Dennis Erickson Seattle Seahawks offense, and that's because of Kittner came in and gave him some spark. You know, Warren Moon, when he was hurt in that Kansas City game earlier in the year, those ribs really never returned. They tried John Freeze for a game, that didn't work, and then they went to this man looking for a spark, John Kittner.
Armand Green has checked in. Ricky Waters is out. And you see the rushing yards. Marshall Faulk virtually a non-factor. This is Green. He's rocked hard at the line of scrimmage. Michael Barber got there first, along with Elijah Alexander.
And you mentioned them coming back last week against San Diego. That was after a devastating loss to the Jets. They were able to regroup and, to come back for that win. And that's pretty good defense by the Colts, and not a team noted for its defense this year. They will be totally revamped in the 99 season.
Loss of 1, 2nd and 11 from 34. Kitna up top, going for Galloway, and that was nearly picked off. Double coverage. Tim Houck got a hand on it. So that'll bring up 3rd and 11.
He's playing a deep zone. Tim Houck is in the middle of the field, and you got to go to Galloway. You got to try it every so often, and that's a pretty good defensive back on him, Pyro and Poole. But watch the help in the middle right here at the end of this play. Tim Houck playing center field. Had a shot at that ball, but it's just a little overthrown. That's good coverage. You cannot leave Joey Galloway alone out there. So that's what the Colts are doing. They're knowing where 84 is all the time and helping the cornerback.
Galloway is checked out, so the wideouts are Pritchard, McKnight, and Blades. And now the Seattle Seahawks take a 30-second timeout with 2:08 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Dennis Erickson showing some of the frustration that he must be feeling. Monday on CBS, kick off a night of comedy with Cosby, followed by an all-new episode of the show critics are comparing to Seinfeld, The King of Queens. And it's the night's #1 comedy, Everybody Loves Raymond, and an all-new episode of the hit comedy Becker starring Ted Danson, followed by L.A. Doctors. That's tomorrow on CBS.
Nice hairdo.
Some of the faithful still in attendance.
And this Kingdome will be actually torn down in a couple of years. And a new stadium will be built right here. I guess they're going to go over and play at University of Washington during that period of time when they eventually tear this down. They're in the process now of building a new baseball stadium right adjacent to the Kingdome.
Ricky Waters is checked back in. He's over 100 yards. The Seahawks are 4-0. They have a player over 100 yards. Waters has done it 3 times, staying once. Kitna will throw it on 3rd down. Chased and throws it away. Elijah Alexander had all kinds of pressure on John Kitna. It was intended for James McKnight. So 4th and 11 with 2:01 left to play in the 3rd quarter.
And it came with a blitz, the Colts did then, and it's a young quarterback, John Kitna, only in his 2nd season of playing, only his 5th start in the NFL. So when you have that kind of youth at quarterback, you're going to come with pressure.
So we'll see Todd Peterson again. The long field goal try, this from 52 yards out. And that one is just short. Very similar to the Mike Vanderjagt field goal try we saw a few minutes ago. So our score remains Colts 20, Seahawks 10, 1:56 left to play in the 3rd quarter. Next weekend, the regular season winds up on CBS. On Saturday, the Kansas City Chiefs take on the Oakland Raiders. Then on Sunday, it's doubleheader action. In the early game, you'll see New England battle the Jets. In the late game, Seattle and Denver. It all starts at noon Eastern with the NFL Today. That's next weekend on CBS.
New England at the Jets in New York. Interesting game. Jets, of course, hoping to get that bye. Jacksonville loses tonight. Playing Minnesota, they will have that bye in the 1st round. But, of course, New England fighting for a playoff spot. That should be a great game next weekend.
1st and 10 from the 42. Falk is the lone setback. Falk will carry the football, trying to get outside, and he'll lose 2. Michael Sinclair was tough on the end and would not let Falk turn the corner.
Marshall Falk has had a year that running backs dream about. That time he couldn't get away from Michael Sinclair, but his numbers are awesome. Over 2,000 yards from the line of scrimmage, over 1,000 yards rushing, 800 and some odd yards. But look at today, -5 yards rushing and only 16 receiving yards for a guy who has over 2,000 on the season. Wow.
Marcus Pollard, the H-back, is in the slot on the left side. Short drop, caught by Small, and keeps his feet into Seattle territory and goes out of bounds at about the 42-yard line.
You know, Torrance Small has helped to take up some of the slack for the loss of Marvin Harrison. Harrison was Peyton Manning's favorite go-to guy. He's injured. He's been out for about the last 3 weeks. So Small has come in, a big target, just a quick slant, breaks the tackle, and picks up the first down.
Torrance Small has checked out. E.G. Green is in. Small perhaps a bit shaken up on the play. First down from the 42. Peyton in motion. Falk. Inside the 40, down to the 38.
I love the way he weaves, he moves. It's, you know, someone once said tackling Marshall Faulk is like trying to drink coffee with a fork. He just can't do it.
Torrance Small has checked back in on 2nd and 6 from the 38. Clock winding down. And that's the end of the third quarter with our score. The Colts 20, the Seahawks 10. We'll return after this message and a word from your local station.
An American soldier stands accused on foreign soil.
You raped this girl?
No, sir. Based on actual events.
The United States Navy was on trial here.
JAG, CBS Tuesday. Happy holidays, and thanks for making CBS America's most watched network.
Lycos? Go get it. Unleash the new Lycos, and no matter what you're looking to retrieve from the internet, Lycos will hunt it down quicker and easier. Lycos, go get it. Jackpot.
It's not easy being Damon's. You know, the place for ribs. Every time we turn around, we're being challenged. Their ribs against ours. But hey, we're always willing to engage in a little friendly competition, because all we have to do to come out on top is follow our recipe. So come on, the next time you're in the mood for award-winning ribs, the first and only place to think of is Damon's, the place for ribs.
Get hip to Damon's swinging combos.
Welcome back to the MBNA Visa All-Star Game. These cards are amazing, and the fans love them.
Yeah, and who wouldn't? I mean, with stats like no annual fee and a low introductory annual percentage rate. Join the team today by calling 1-800-NFL-9919 and get an officially licensed NFL team duffel bag free after the first use of your new NFL Visa card.
NFL Team Visa cards take you where the action is. Call 1-800-NFL-9919 today to receive your free NFL duffel bag.
Lycos, go get it. Unleash the new Lycos, and no matter what you're looking to retrieve from the internet, Lycos will hunt it down quicker and easier. Lycos, go get it.
The Seattle Seahawks have a chance for their first winning season under Dennis Erickson, but they start the fourth quarter down by 10. 2nd and 6 from the 38. Manning from the shotgun. What? Seahawks come from the blitz, and here's Falk. Up the sidelines, inside the 20, and pushed out at the 12. And a block by Ken Dilger was able to spring Falk for the big gain. A flag is down. It looks like they're bringing it back.
I was just about to say that Marshall Faulk got out of negative numbers.
86, offense, 10-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Now that was on Jerome Pathan, the rookie wideout.
It's the wide receiver out here. Watch him. That's the call in, and see if we can pick it up. See the run, and that's what they're saying, that he held Pathan, but a real nice run, a little change of pace at the end to stop and go for an extra couple of yards. But Marshall Faulk and Jim Moore are the first guys to tell you those wide receivers can make a difference if they're blocking between a 5, 6, 7, 8 yard gain and one that goes 30, 40, or 50 yards. So, you know, if you're going to be overly aggressive, you can live with that.
So he picked up 13 yards before the penalty. 2nd and 3 from the 35. Manning, this is Dilger. Dilger has it down inside the 10. Darrell Williams made the stop, but that's why they consider Dilger such a valuable weapon, whether he's blocking or catching the football, a pickup of 28.
And Bill McAtee on the play before, you mentioned Dilger making that terrific block. Here, number 85 comes out right in the middle of your screen, slips out, makes the catch, and then makes a good run afterwards. And you're right, he has been the MVP for them over the last couple of years.
In his 4th year out of the University of Illinois.
He does it all. Sometimes he's a tight end, sometimes he's an H-back, sometimes he's a fullback blocking.
First and goal from the 8. Falk still on his feet. And down to 2. Pickup of 6. Cortez Kennedy and Darrell Williams made the stop for Seattle.
And some people wonder, Marshall Faulk too small at 5'10", 211 pounds, but he just keeps hanging in there, breaks a tackle, and at the end of this takes a pretty good hit. But he just keeps on ticking. Marshall Faulk. He'll touch the ball 350, 400 times in a season. He's only 25 years old.
Second and goal. Faulk. Nothing. Sean Springs was the first one there.
And you know, Marshall Faulk just didn't have the lift there. He wanted to go up and over, but he was too far away from the goal line. A pile was in front of him and he couldn't get up on top. So he did nothing. He was driven back.
Well, the Colts' goal was to try to win 2 in a row for the first time this season, and then to finish the season winning 3 straight as they close out next week at home against Carolina. 3 wideouts in now on 3rd and goal. Peyton, Small, and Green. Manning from the shotgun. The lob pass incomplete. Nice touch intended for Small, and he was battling Willie Williams the entire way.
Torrance Small not happy with it, but boy, what a beautiful touch by the rookie quarterback. This ball is perfectly thrown. He's got the big wide receiver. He hopes that Torrance Small will be able to stretch out and make the catch. And look at the air he puts underneath this and just off his fingertips. Not bad coverage by Willie Williams either, all over him. Look at the ref, boy, is that keeping you cool under pressure?
No flag. So a 20-yard attempt by Mike Vanderjagt. Up and good, and the Colts extend their lead with 12:17 left to play. 23-10 Indianapolis.
Waterburn, Australia, a true story. A man was prospecting behind his trailer home when he discovered a 61-pound nugget of solid gold worth $1 million. When it comes to retirement, you can depend on luck, or you can depend on us, Sun America. We specialize in retirement investments. Ask about our personal retirement portfolios, and don't leave your future to chance. Sun America, the retirement specialist.
Arriving at last, from Saturn. The world's first 3-door coupe. Why didn't anyone think of this before?
Learn that the real challenge doesn't come from the outside, but from within.
How did we get this guy to take back all those nasty things he said about electric razors? By getting in his face for 21 days. The Norelco Reflex Action for an unexpectedly close shave. Guaranteed. Norelco, put it to the test.
Warren Moon throwing a little bit on the sideline after the 3rd field goal by Mike Vanderjagt. And the crowd is booing because the ball was kicked off by Vanderjagt before the whistle, so they'll bring it back and kick it again.
You wonder about Warren Moon, though, 42 years old, you know, he can still throw the ball. And he would be a valuable backup for someone. And you wonder if he stays here. He's still under contract with the Seahawks. But what happens to Warren Moon now that they've seemed to have decided that Jon Kitna, at least for now, is their quarterback?
Well, Warren Moon with some ties to Jim Mora. Jim Mora recruited Warren out of junior college in Los Angeles and was the defensive coordinator when Warren played at the University of Washington. So those two men know each other pretty well. But I think the Colts are probably set at quarterback for a while, and some outstanding young receivers, by the way, for Peyton Manning to sort of grow up with. Jerome Pathan is a rookie. E.G. Green is a rookie. Marvin Harrison is early in his career.
Now they have a good set of young receivers, and they have a quarterback who can take them places.
So the kick fielded by Broussard at the 7. Broussard is out across the 25. And that's where Seattle will take over 1st and 10. 12:06 left to play. 23-10 Colts.
Ordinarily, a Saturn owner reporting over 100,000 miles on his car just isn't that uncommon. But in the first year, that sort of caught our attention. So we decided to keep track of him. He came in for oil changes and tune-ups, but nothing major, until he hit the 300,000 mile mark.
Mr. Bingham, looks like we got a problem here.
Looks good. Got to admit, for a car seat, 300,000's a pretty good run.
This is a message for Tom Keene, card member since '91. Last year, you visited all the high churches of golf. You equipped yourself with the finest gear money can buy. And you shot 145 every time you went out. Fortunately, by paying for all this with your American Express card, you earned enough membership rewards points to get some lessons. Yet another reason to do more with the American Express card.
Turn the pizza around. It's stuffed crust. You eat it backwards. Carry on.
In case you forgot, you're supposed to eat stuffed crust backwards. With a ring of cheese baked right into the crust, it's the most fun you can have with the pizza. Right now, a large one topping is only $9.99. Pizza Hut, the best pizzas under one roof.
Would you like to work here?
I'm not housebroken.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Saturn, a different kind of company, a different kind of car. Sun America, the retirement specialist, and by the United States Army. Be all you can be.
Well, welcome back to Seattle. 12:06 remaining, 23-10 Indianapolis. And the Seahawks will start 1st and 10 from their own 27. Joey Galloway is out. Pritchard, McKnight, and Blades are in. And that wasn't pretty. And the numbers for John Kitna, 13 of 25 for 142 yards and a touchdown. Dennis Erickson discovered John Kitna because his nephew Jamie was playing with Kitna at Central Washington. Dennis went to watch his nephew play, started seeing Kitna making plays, worked him out after the draft. They signed him, sent him to the World League to Barcelona, where he went on to be the MVP of the World Bowl, throwing for over 400 yards. And has come back and over the last month has solidified himself as the starter. Incomplete. That was intended for Mike Pritchard. Well, visit the NFL online and see if your favorite players are going to Hawaii for the Pro Bowl at NFL.com or on America Online at keyword Team NFL.
And it was interesting, Dennis Erickson, just to continue that story about Kitna. Remember they called, he was hanging around his house in the 7th round, and they said, hey, has anyone talked to you? He said, no. So he raced down to Seattle and signed on the 2nd day of the draft. John Kitna did, and now he is a starting quarterback for the Seahawks.
Now the shotgun on 3rd and 14. Stepping up, pulls it down, and he'll run for it. And get it. Well, he told us he grew up admiring John Elway. Tried to pattern himself after Elway, doing whatever it takes to win, whether that's throwing it for 300 or scrambling, just finding a way to win.
This is a dimension that Warren Moon didn't give the Seahawks. Watch Kitna here, and he makes Mark Thomas miss right there. He just threw a little fake. Thomas took it, and then he takes it upfield for the first down.
Picked up 17 there to keep the drive alive. Down by 13. Robert Wilson now is checked in at wide receiver. Waters down to the 43. And we asked John Kitna, who is really something of a character, if he'd ever met John Elway, since they played 5 times since Kitna got here. And he said no, that he didn't want to go up and introduce himself because he was afraid that John would just look at him and say, so what?
He said, yeah, I'm a pretty shy guy. I was bashful, but here he is, a starting quarterback, 130 in the NFL, and he's bashful about going up to see another one.
2nd and 7. Kitna. Caught. That's Brian Blades. Seattle's 2nd all-time leading receiver behind Steve Largent. And Blades trying to get the crowd pumped up after the gain of 16.
John Kitna doesn't have the strongest arm in the world, but Blades is one of those just veteran pro receivers. And he's been here 11 years in the same uniform playing for Seattle. That's fairly rare. And he's not afraid to go over the middle and make the catches he did there for the first down.
From the 41 of Indianapolis, Blades in motion. Kitna will throw it. And another completion. That's James McKnight. He's wrestled back. His forward progress will get him to the 33. Clock is running. 9:45 left to play.
You get a sense of a little momentum here for Seattle. And Dennis Erickson would be very happy to see that because he'd like nothing better than a winning season. I mean, he's been having 8-8 seasons forever, it seems like. And this would be his first winning season if he could get a couple of wins in 7 and 7. So far behind.
Toss to Waters. Has some running room, still on his feet. And it's a race to the goal line.
Oh, my.
Touchdown. And that was all Ricky Waters. And Kitna was the first man to jump on his back after the 33-yard touchdown run.
That's what they say about Kitna. He's an emotional guy. He's involved in all plays. But watch Ricky Waters. First of all, McElroy tries to tackle him, number 40. Right? That's 45 Houck. And then at the end of this play, watch this stiff arm he gives. I think it's Jeff Burris. Yes, Burris, and just says, get out of here. You're a fly on me. I'm in for the touchdown.
And did you see Kitna down there trying to throw a block? The extra point is good. So it's a 6-point game with 9:19 left to play, and we'll be back to the Kingdom in Seattle after these messages.
Applicants wanted. High-tech jobs. Window offices. No experience necessary.
Chicken sandwich or burger? Take a dance with Lady Cluck. Okay, which one? That one. This one right here?
Yeah.
Wrong. Burger. You lose.
Eat chicken that looks like chicken. Introducing Subway's Chicken Fajita Sub, topped with Old El Paso thick and chunky salsa. Subway, the way a sandwich should be.
Large cheese. Somebody order a pizza. What can I say? It's college, so it's not like I have a ton of time or money to shop for a car. But I heard some pretty good things about Saturn's website. I could actually pick out a car, play around with options, figure out monthly payments, and Brian, my sales consultant, treated me great. Considering the first time we met was when he stopped by with my coupe. Hi, I'm here with the Saturn. Somebody order a Saturn?
To find out more about how people watch TV, we sent our experts. Both of them.
Come on, 40. 40.
The result? RCA TVs with Guide Plus Gold, the revolutionary on-screen guide that lets you find what's on faster and easier when you just can't wait.
Monday, Becker's losing sleep over a broken streetlight.
No, don't transfer me to Public Works. They hate me there.
Will his neighbors help him fight City Hall?
Just knowing how much it bothers you gives me the strength I need to endure hell itself until you've either moved out or died.
Ted Danson is Becker.
Okay, that's one undecided.
An all-new episode, CBS Monday.
A 7-play drive capped by this 33-yard touchdown run by Ricky Waters, and Doc, take it.
Watch what he does to Tim Houck right here. Houck has a pretty good shot, makes a miss, and then runs through it. But at the end of this play, he does so many things well. He'll shift the ball right down here so that he can straight on Burris, and then right there, that's Kitna.
Throwing a block on the starting middle linebacker, Michael Barber. Meanwhile, Aaron Bailey takes it at the 5. The flag is down, and Bailey gets it across the 25 to the 27, but let's check the penalty.
What is John Kitna doing at the end of that play, taking on a linebacker? Shows you what an emotional leader he is. He wants to be involved in the play. What an incredible play by Ricky Waters. And as we wait for this call.
Illegal block, number 91, half the distance to the goal, on the return, first down.
Kitna runs all the way downfield, and watch him right here. This is Kitna. And watch the block. He's taking on a linebacker. Who's that, number 53, Barber? Look at that.
It's only the starting middle linebacker.
Wow.
And look, there you go. First guy to greet him.
Exactly. But you know what Ricky Waters did so well at the end of that play as well, Bill? He switched the ball from his right hand to his left hand to free up his inside arm to straight arm Jeff Burris to get into the end zone. Brilliant play by Ricky Waters.
73 yards on the drive. Took less than 3 minutes, and this crowd at the Kingdome is pumped up like the Seahawks still have a chance to make the playoffs.
Well, they have a chance to win this game. They're down 23-17. Touchdown puts them right back. Puts them ahead. Touchdown, extra point.
So from the 7, Manning trying to check off. Gives it to Falk. Falk picks up 1. And now let's go to New York and Jim Nantz for this NFL update.
Bill McAtee, one good-looking pass play has put the San Diego Chargers back in the game. Humble pie for the Heisman Trophy winner. Charles Woodson beat by Ricks. 17-10 Raiders at the end of 3 quarters. Let's go back to you.
That was a good-looking play. Ricks, a rookie. He's got a good future in the NFL. So 2nd and 9 from the 8. Manning from the shotgun. Intended for Pollard, and he just couldn't get a handle on it.
You know what's interesting about that play, Bill? I thought I saw nervous feet for the first time. I saw Peyton Manning moving his feet around. Watch this. Gets a little edgy in the pocket. Watch his feet. See him moving around a little bit. See him right there. And then that's just good coverage. That's just good coverage. Pollard can't hold on. Take a look at his feet right here. Quarterback, when he starts getting a little edgy and jumping around with those feet. And Chad Brown was the man all over Pollard to break up that play.
Well, the Seahawks came into the weekend tied for the NFL lead in sacks with 49. Manning throws from his own end zone. A flag is down and incomplete. Underthrown, intended for the rookie E.G. Green.
Covered by Springs. Beautiful coverage by him. See how quiet it got? The Kingdome erupted after that Ricky Waters touchdown. And now they're waiting for this call.
Holding number 27, defense.
Wow.
5-yard penalty.
Willie Williams.
So Willie Williams called for the hold, and new life for Indianapolis.
Ooh, that takes the air out of the balloon after that Ricky Waters 33-yard run, and then they just call on Willie Williams.
Willie Williams, who was inactive last week because of a foot injury, and he was a game day decision as to whether or not he'd play. So 1st and 10 from the 13. Falk across the 20 and down at the 26. Nice block by Torrance Small. And this Tuesday on JAG, an American soldier is accused of a crime that puts Harm, Mack, and the entire U.S. Navy on trial. Don't miss JAG. That's Tuesday on CBS. Pickup of 13 by Marshall Falk. So 1st and 10 from the 26. Inside of 8 minutes remaining. 23-17 Indianapolis. Manning from the shotgun. Falk.
Oh!
Bubble. Touchdown, Sean Springs. Another defensive touchdown from the Seahawks.
They've done it all year long. This is their 10th defensive score. Marshall Falk, watch this on the end. 93, Philip Daniels makes him cough it up, and then Springs comes by, takes it on the bounce, in for the touchdown. Tie score, waiting for the extra point. It's been defense scoring all year long for the Seahawks.
Todd Peterson. It's good. 7:36 remaining. 24-23, Seattle.
Honey, I'm going to Staples to pick up a few gifts. Be back soon.
Attention shoppers, looking for the perfect gift? Well, check out aisle 3 for great prices on Sharp mobile organizers. And save on Panasonic phones. No, not you! You! Yes! And I, or any husband, would love one of those nice global chairs. I need the leather one! Get a leather chair!
For great gift ideas and over 7,000 items at guaranteed low prices at Staples. Yeah, we've got that.
The new Saturn Coupe has better pickup than a Maserati. After a Little League game, anyway. The world's first three-door coupe. From Saturn. Why didn't anyone think of this before?
Turn the pizza around. It's stuffed crust. You eat it backwards. Carry on.
In case you forgot, you're supposed to eat stuffed crust backwards. With a ring of cheese baked right into the crust, it's the most fun you can have with the pizza. Right now, a large one topping is only $9.99. Pizza Hut, the best pizzas under one roof.
Would you like to work here?
I'm not housebroken.
Go double dating.
Did I tell you that Spence sells tokens on the subway?
That's the way to impress her.
With the King of Queens.
So far, so good.
Shut up!
And all new episodes CBS Monday.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Staples, the office superstore, and by Energizer Advanced Formula. No battery lasts longer.
Well, after the 14-yard fumble return for a touchdown, there's the story. 24-23, 7:36 left to play. And Seahawks extending that streak. Most returns for touchdowns to 13 now. That includes kickoffs and punts. Aaron Bailey. Flag is down, and he stopped short of the 20-yard line. He tackled at the 18. Willie Williams made the stop, but let's check the penalty.
Kerry Joseph, a block in the back. I'm sure that was it. Number 40.
Illegal block. Number 40 on the return. After distance to the goal. First down.
Did you say I wasn't paying attention?
Good eyes.
I'm back in this game, and so is everyone here at the Kingdome. You know, it was very sleepy for that third quarter, most of the fourth quarter, until Ricky Waters and the defense. Look at that record, 13 most returns for touchdowns in NFL history.
Second fumble return for a touchdown. Cortez Kennedy had one last week and was about 38 yards, and when he got to the sidelines, Warren Moon was waiting for him with an oxygen mask. Had to keep him out a few plays. So 7:26 left to play. First and 10 from the 9. Flags everywhere.
And Peyton Manning says he wants to be in every situation. He wants to learn. Well, here he's in a hostile environment. He's trailing by 1 point with 7.5 minutes left.
We'll start. Number 72. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
Jim Mora, who became the head coach of the Colts in January after more than a decade in New Orleans, taking the season off, work as a commentator.
I love what he said about going out to looking for a house. He actually made a bid on a house, and he's waiting for the acceptance. That tells you something about what he feels about the future of his future and the Indianapolis Colts future.
That guy's a big part of it. First and 15 from the 4. Manning from his own end zone. Going up top and overthrowing everybody. That was intended for Peyton. And Peyton had double coverage.
Double coverage from the corner and the safety in the middle of the field. Bellamy was there, but Manning, in the end zone, he was waiting. Looked for his secondary receiver, couldn't find him.
7:20 remaining. It'll be 2nd and 15 from the 4. And you're right, this is, if nothing else, a great learning experience. Deep in your own territory, the crowd screaming, trying to pull you off sides. From the shotgun, again from the end zone. That is caught by Peyton.
But did you see before that play when Peyton Manning was back in the shotgun how he pointed to one of his offensive linemen? All right, watch the blitz over here. That's the growth of Peyton Manning. This is just a short slanting pattern. Dilger clears out. The receiver, Peyton, comes underneath. He gets part of it back, so he has third and about 4 or 5 yards.
They spotted at the 14, so it's 3rd and 5. The numbers for Manning approaching 300 yards. 2 wide receivers to the right side. And again, it's Peyton on the slant and an Indianapolis first down.
Interesting call. Terry McDaniel, the 3rd cornerback, the veteran, playing bump and run on Peyton.
Pickup of 14.
He was actually covered early, but what Manning did was he stayed with his receiver, knowing that Peyton's got the quickness to get away. See him down there, the bottom of the screen, to pick up the first down.
Terry McDaniel, the longtime Raider, signed with Seattle after week 1. He had a 43-yard interception return for a touchdown last week. So 1st and 10 from the 27. Manning fires it. Surprising Marshall Faulk a little bit. Usually don't see a screen pass come in with that kind of velocity.
Exactly.
Cortez Kennedy was all over it.
It did have a lot of juice on it. I don't think there was a lot of room to get that ball to Marshall Faulk. He might have been better off just throwing it away because Faulk was surrounded by Seattle defensive players.
Cortez Kennedy, 6 consecutive Pro Bowls from 91 to 96. He'll be an alternate this year. Got back to the line of scrimmage, so 2nd and 10 from the 27. Manning, and again to Peyton. Did he hang on? Yes.
He was juggling it going down, but the official said it's a catch, so it must not have touched the ground. Obviously, Peyton has become the man for Peyton Manning. He said earlier, well, you know, it used to be Marvin Harrison before he was hurt. Now it's just a slant in to Peyton, who has that terrific speed. Here, watch him catch the ball. Did he hold on to it? Looked like he pulled it off his leg and it didn't touch the ground. Good call.
Peyton, born in Cape Town, South Africa. His family moved to Nova Scotia when he was 5. He said his first love was soccer. Didn't really start playing football until 8 years ago. Manning to the other side, and Small can't hang on.
Well, you know who's covering him? Number 24, Springs. All over him. And this is as well played by a defensive back as you'll see it. Watch him strip with that right. He comes in on the receiver Small. He's playing bump and run. He gets turned around, and then he recovers. And see that right arm just strip the ball away from Small. Terrific play by a Pro Bowl defensive back.
Sean Springs limping just a bit. Now on the sidelines where he'll get attention. That'll bring out Chris Gardocki. Kerry Joseph is the deep man for Seattle, standing back at his own 18-yard line. Gardocki's done a good job kicking today, and this is another outstanding effort. Fielded at the 24. And out to the 33. There's Kerry Joseph. 42-yard punt. And that's where Seattle will take over. 1st and 10 with 4:33 left to play. And tonight on CBS, the righteous indignation he brought to the roles of Moses and Ben-Hur, Charlton Heston now brings to a new role, president of the NRA. 60 minutes tonight. Then it's Christmas Eve on Touched by an Angel. And that is followed by Borrowed Hearts, a holiday romance on the CBS Sunday movie All Tonight on CBS. From the 33, Waters, maybe one. That'll bring up 2nd and 9. The clock is running.
Now, if Charlton Heston, you'll see tonight on 60 Minutes, were a football player in the NFL, what would he be? A guy who could part the Red Sea? I mean, what would he be? He'd have to be a quarterback, right?
Yeah, I would think that's pretty logical.
He's a guy that, made things happen. And, the toughest position all of sports is a quarterback position. It's just so hard, not just physically, but also in terms of the mental processes of learning the game and reading defenses.
3 wideouts in the game for Seattle. I'll let you ponder that thought. Next few minutes, the pitch to Waters. Nothing, run out of bounds at the line of scrimmage. Jeff Burris was the first man to greet him.
Okay, what would you make Charlton Heston?
I'll go with the quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, I think he has that kind of power. I mean, boy, Ricky Waters had a good day. I mean, that run, that 33-yard touchdown was a work of art. It was a work of art.
Now, Marshall Faulk was #2 leading rusher coming into this one in the NFL, but only 19 yards. The story today really has been Ricky Waters with 144 yards. Getting out of the shotgun on 3rd and 11. Fires. Oh! And that was quite a catch by Blades. And this will be very close to a first down, and that's the signal. First down, Seattle.
Blades has helped to bring this crowd into it. He's made some tough catches, and he's really brought some spark to the offense. That time he just laid himself out over the middle, makes the catch, and boy, is he very, very close to the first down. Hard to tell.
Preliminary, there was a signal indicating first down, but now they're going to check it.
And you wonder if this is Brian Blades, you know, swan song in the NFL. He's been around some 11 years. You know, he still can make some catches, but you wonder how much more he has left.
By the nose of the football. So 3:28 remaining. And Seattle's drive still alive. Leading by 1, 24-23.
You know, coming into the game, you know, Jim Mara knew he had his hands full with this defense, but Dennis Erickson was saying his game plan was simple. Run the ball with Ricky, he's done that. Open up the field, spread the defense, and get the ball to Galloway as much as I can.
Expect him to run it here. Blades in motion. Waters the deep back. He'll get it. Flags. Waters still on his feet. Racing toward the end zone and down inside the 20 at the 18. Chances are the penalty will be against the Colts. John Kitna thinks so.
Offside, number 50, defense. Penalty is declined, first down.
You know, it's amazing when a running back has this much juice left in it. That shows the kind of shape that Ricky Waters is in. Look at him right here. Bounces off Tyrone Poole, but he'll never outrun the cornerback there. Poole stays with him, finally knocks him down. But, you know, a guy who carries 25, 30 times a game and just gets stronger and stronger, and that's what Ricky Waters has done here today in the 4th quarter.
So now Waters over 180 yards, and this was really the kind of thing they expected from Ricky Waters this season. Perhaps not a total like 180, but over 100 yards, and really Ricky has been disappointed with the way the year has gone.
Well, I think you made a good point earlier, Bill, when you were talking about them trying to find their identity as an offense. Last year, a lot of 3 wide receivers. This year, they went to more of a 2-back, used Ricky Waters before finally going back to those 3 wide receivers and Ricky Waters.
Armand Green has now checked in. Green will get the carry. Big hole. And Green is down to the 5. Following the lead block of the fullback, Max Strong.
Max Strong is just only a blocking back. Number 38 is a lead back. Watch him right here. Watch the block he gets. He comes through on the linebacker, ties him up, and then that was Elijah Alexander, and then Green does the rest.
Well, a pickup of 14, and the Colts take a timeout with 2:42 left to play. And next Saturday, CBS heats up the holiday with NCAA hoops. The Louisville Cardinals take on the Kentucky Wildcats. Coverage begins at 1 Eastern. That's next Saturday on CBS Sports. Well, the Seattle Seahawks have roared back to life.
A real credit to Dennis Erickson, much the way they did roar back to life when they lost to the Jets and then came back to beat San Diego. Today, a major disappointment, you know, with New England. Part of the scenario for them to get in the playoffs was New England losing their next 2 games. They beat San Francisco, so Seattle is out of the playoffs still. Dennis was able to, you know, rally his team. They've come back. They're ahead. 2:42 left, Bill.
Well, the Seahawk defense all year has given up a lot of yardage, but they've made the big plays. And the fumble return for a touchdown by Sean Springs has been the big play today. Ricky Waters has checked back in. Waters here in the 4th quarter, 5 carries for 73 yards and a touchdown. Blades in motion. Waters back to the 5. Michael Barber made the tackle.
Good read by the middle linebacker. He saw the hole, saw Ricky, and darted through. I mean, he's got that good speed. Michael Barber is one of the guys who can play on defense. Here, he just reads it. See him get through that hole. That's what you call going after the ball carrier and making a play. That hole opens for a minute. If you don't do it right now, you're blocked, and Waters gets some good yardage.
Indianapolis takes their second timeout, so 1 remaining with 2:37 left to play. There's Jim Mora. We mentioned his career here with the Seattle Seahawks as the defensive line coach. He was the defensive coordinator for Don James at the University of Washington from 1975 to 1977.
You know, I think the most revealing thing Jim Mora said to me, and you know, you don't know about Jim Mora. Sometimes you forget that in New Orleans he had 91 folks in 10 years regular season wins. Bill Walsh, who is a legend, only had 92 regular season wins in that same time. So Mora very successful at New Orleans. Before that big blow up, took a year off, much more relaxed now, happy to be back to coaching.
Again, it's Waters. Ball pops out, still alive. Kitna gets it. After all that, that'll turn out to be a loss of 2.
And boy, that's what they tell every quarterback. If you're a young quarterback playing Pop Warner, you just learned something right there. You should follow your runner into the hole, so that if something like this happens, if Ricky Waters coughs it up right there, see it come out, then you'll be over there to make the play and save a turnover.
Well, the Colts take their final timeout. 2:27 left to play.
And I think if you're Jim Mora, the most revealing thing Jim Mora said to us, Bill, was that this is a 3-11 team with a future. It's a huge difference. I mean, he has his quarterback. He has some real good offensive talent. He has some defensive players. And if they can fill in some blanks on defense, this will be a competitive team. What did he say? Playoffs in maybe 2-3 years?
Well, you asked him whether or not he thought they'd make the playoffs next year. He said, realistically, no, I don't think so. We have a little ways to go, but following that, they're going to try to add some more pieces to the puzzle and the draft and through free agency next year. So one of the problems, as you look at Marshall Faulk, one of the problems is they don't have enough playmakers on defense.
Exactly, and they'll have to get a big pass rushing defensive end, maybe a linebacker, and they'll have to take care of that Marshall Faulk situation. You know, there's been some speculation that there's language in his contract that if he's in a top 5 rusher, you know, that he may have some voidable years, and well, they're going to work that out.
So now, third and goal from the 8. Steve Broussard has checked in. Kitna. And he'll be sacked. Tony McCoy with his 5th quarterback sack of the year. 7th year out of the University of Florida. The Colts' 4th round draft pick in 1992. That'll bring on the field goal unit.
Yeah, they'll let the clock go to the 2-minute warning, then they'll try to get a field goal to up by 4 points, forcing the Colts to get a touchdown to win this game. Certainly not out of the question. So this field goal is an important kick.
Remember, the Colts out of timeouts. And we've reached the 2-minute warning. Back to Seattle in a moment.
Now that the Bunny has the new advanced battery, it's a whole new ball game. We have to be prepared for just about anything. Ain't that right, boys?
New Energizer Advanced Formula. No battery lasts longer.
This Christmas, help your kids do better in school so they'll do better in life. Give them a compact Presario Creative Learning Series PC, only at Radio Shack. Now with a $100 Radio Shack gift certificate and no interest until the year 2000.
Let's get ready to party!
Patch Adams had a knack for breaking the rules.
I want to learn about people. I want to help them with their troubles.
That's what I do.
But you suck at it.
A talent for defying authority.
This is all a big joke to you?
Does a chicken have lips?
And a gift
Donner, party of 50?
for turning the world upside down.
Hello.
Robin Williams.
The hospital will cover all of your bills. Any other questions?
Patch Adams, rated PG-13. Starts Friday.
In 1984, 2 computer scientists envisioned the impossible, a seamless network of computer networks. They invented the router, and Cisco Systems was born. Today, virtually all internet traffic travels across Cisco equipment, now directing millions of messages a day. And Cisco will be there as web users soar to over 300 million by the year 2002. Where do you learn about companies so integrated into the future? Exactly. NASDAQ Amex, the market of markets.
The righteous indignation he brought to Moses and Ben-Hur, Charlton Heston now brings to a new role, president of the NRA, tonight on 60 Minutes.
3-year-old Sterling Grover on the sidelines, there in the stands with his mom. Probably feeling a little tired after what has been a very busy day for that young man working at Make-A-Wish Foundation. Got to spend the last couple of days with his favorite football player, Joey Galloway, who's got the jacket on, appears to be done for the day. Now a 30-yard field goal try. Plenty of leg from Todd Peterson. So 1:57 left to play, and the Seahawks extend their lead to 4, 27-23. So Peterson, after missing on the 2 long ones, converts. Missed field goals of 53 and 52 yards. Well, next weekend, the regular season winds up on CBS. On Saturday, the Kansas City Chiefs take on the Oakland Raiders. Then on Sunday, it's doubleheader action. In the early game, you'll see New England battle the Jets, and in the late game, the Seahawks take on the Broncos. It all starts at noon Eastern with the NFL Today. That's next weekend here on CBS.
New England certainly helped themselves with a win. They're now 9-6, and they beat San Francisco without Drew Bledsoe. Pretty good accomplishment for Pete Carroll and his Patriots.
Well, Aaron Bailey is back deep for Indianapolis. John Kitna trying to go 4-1 as a starter for Dennis Erickson.
Could have easily been 5-0 if he does win today. I mean, he was in that Jet game, that controversial call at the end, Vinny Testaverde's touchdown or non-touchdown.
Not the only blemish on his record. Todd Peterson kicks it off. Bailey at the 8. Still on his feet. Bounced outside at the 25 and down at the 27. So a lot of life still left in both of these teams.
Aaron Bailey looked like the pinball in the pinball machine. Boy, he just kept on rolling, picking up some yards, and we'll see what Peyton Manning can do now. Okay, he's behind. He's in a hostile environment. He's no timeouts. He's got to get a touchdown. All right, this is a learning experience for the young quarterback. Okay, Jim, you said he was far along. Let's find out just how far along Peyton Manning is.
After the 19-yard return, start 1st and 10 from his own 27. The wideouts are Peyton, Small, and Green. 2 rookies, Torrance Small in his 7th year out of Alcorn State. And Marshall Faulk is not a bad weapon to have either. Directing traffic. Peyton in motion.
Watch!
The pressure. Intended for Dilger and underthrown.
Oh, my. Dilger had lots of running room up that sideline, Bill, and Peyton Manning had enough time to get him the ball. I think he was looking for Marshall Faulk on the near side. He was covered well by Chad Brown, but if you take a look at it here, watch Dilger. All right, he's out here in the flat. He has enough time. It's just a poorly thrown ball. The worst ball I've seen Peyton Manning throw today.
The Colts offensive line has done an outstanding job against a very tough Seattle defensive line. Caught. And again, it's the slant pattern. This time it's E.G. Green, who has an Indianapolis first down. Manning looking for the signal from the sidelines. Gain of 19. The clock continues to run inside of a minute and a half remaining. And up quickly from the 46. Manning.
Guess who?
Sacked. And Michael Sinclair with his 16th sack of the season.
He's got that big outside rush. Watch his speed as he comes off the corner on the far side there.
Manning back quickly to the sidelines. Caught. That's Dilger. And an Indianapolis first down as he's driven out of bounds at the 34 by Kerry Joseph.
What a comeback by Manning. He's sacked by Sinclair, who ties Jacobs Green's record for sacks for a franchise with 16, comes back and hits for a first down to his tight end. What a good play by Peyton Manning.
Dilger is out. Marcus Pollard is still in. And the H-back, a pickup of 25. So call it the 34, 1st and 10. 1:07 left to play. And Manning showing an awful lot of poise. Oh! Intended for Peyton. He had it, turned his head, and dropped it.
You can't throw the ball any better than Peyton Manning did that time to Jerome Payton. Look at Manning keeping his cool. You know what he'd like to say? He'd like to say, catch the ball. It's a perfect throw. You're on the post. You may even take it into the end zone. Right off his shoulder pads. Didn't use his hands. Wow. I mean, if you were going to nitpick, you could say, well, it was, 6 inches behind him, but no way. Nice throw, a lot of velocity.
2nd and 10 from the 34. 2 wide receivers to the left side. Here come the Seahawks. The pump fake up the sidelines, intended for Peyton, and a flag.
It's got to be offense, unless he's going to call defensive back for cutting him off.
Manning is down there quickly.
You know, Terry McDaniel is a smart veteran defensive back.
Manning indicating that the call is against Seattle.
Number 36.
Whoa!
Defense. Automatic first down.
Tell you why he called that play. He's saying that Terry McDaniel cut off the receiver, and I don't know. We'll take a look at it here. It's man-to-man. It's Payton. A stop and a go. All right, McDaniel's with him. He isn't looking for the ball, but now he's looking for the ball. Wow. I know I'm a former defensive back, but I don't like the call. You have a right to go for that ball.
Neither does Dennis Erickson. So 1st and goal, 56 seconds remaining. Manning. Tipped away, almost intercepted. Willie Williams got a hand on it.
Willie Williams almost had an interception. That ball was thrown on a slant. Manning did not see the safety coming over. Willie Williams, who moved inside from his corner position, that could have been intercepted. But to make that call on McDaniel on pass interference in this situation, it's a non-call.
2nd and goal from the 7. 53 seconds left.
Should be a non-call. Wasn't a non-call.
Manning from the shotgun.
Oh!
Incomplete. Someone waved at it,
yes,
and Dilger dropped it.
A few people waved at it, and that's what it did. You know, Dilger's vision was obscured for a moment. He didn't see the ball coming through all of the tackles, all of the people in front of him, and he couldn't hold it.
Well, for those of you expecting to see 60 Minutes, you're watching the NFL on CBS in the game between the Seattle Seahawks and the Indianapolis Colts. I'm Bill McAtee along with John Dockery. 60 Minutes will be seen in its entirety following the game, except on the West Coast and Mountain Time Zone. And here in Seattle, it's 27-23 Seahawks. Peyton Manning, the rookie, chased from behind. Incomplete. Philip Daniels had all kinds of pressure, and that'll bring up 4th down.
And it was Daniels and Sinclair harassing Peyton Manning that forced him to throw this ball underneath. You see McDaniels from the outside there, Daniels. And then on the other side, that's Sinclair. That's why he couldn't get the ball off the way he wanted to. He had to throw it early, and he was being dragged down, so he couldn't get any juice on it.
So here it is.
Game time.
4th and goal. Manning. Out of the end zone. Torn small, hung on, but couldn't keep his feet in bounds.
How close can you come? Watch this. Torrance Small at the end of the end zone, trying to stretch out, way out. Ball was just a little overthrown, and Dennis Erickson says, yes, it's out. Oh, what an emotional few minutes here.
Peyton Manning, there'll be other chances for this young man. Drove him down the field with no timeouts.
Another chapter. I was going to say just another chapter in the making of a quarterback. It was close. Watch him a year or two from now. He'll make that play. He'll win games like this for the Indianapolis Colts.
And you saw in the replay that Torrance Small was unable to hang on to the football. It was out of bounds anyway, so Kittner will take a knee. Well, not quite take a knee. The clock continues to run. And a big win perhaps for Dennis Erickson and his future here in Seattle.
It'll make him 8-7 with a chance at a winning season. He's at Denver. Tough game next week for Dennis Erickson because Denver's not going to lay down. They learned a few years ago when they didn't play hard till the end of the year and then lost to Jacksonville. So Dennis Erickson looking for a winning season. Jim Mora knowing his team is on track for the future.
So the Seahawks go to 8-7 and we'll wrap up the season next week against Denver. So for John Dockery, this is Bill McAtee saying so long from the Kingdome, where our final score is Seattle 27, Indianapolis 23. 60 Minutes is next.